the go live button now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pathfinder Carrion Crown Session 1 live stream. I am D6 Damage, and I am joined by the rest of the dice bag. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Good day.
Good evening.
Hey. Also, I'm here.
Yes, our master of dungeons for today will be Doomboy from the Discord. If you are not a member already, I highly suggest joining. It's a fantastic place for all kinds of character builds, conversation about Pathfinder, just a great place for the community. All right, so let's get into the wonderful, wonderful non-undead infested land we're going to. Doomboy, take us away.
All right, then. Our journey begins in Ustalav, a very unique location. Each of you, spread across the continent, have all received a message from a priest of Pharasma telling you that, unfortunately, Petros Lorimor, or Lorimor, whoever you are, has unfortunately passed. Save for you, Cyphus. All you heard was, a priest of, and then it cut out. Each of you have begun making your way there. The first of which to arrive is Raphael, having sensed something wrong in the world one day on his journeys, aiding a caravan through the deserts. You've approached the helm of Petros Lorimor and Kendra Lorimor. Simple abode, very large windows. It's a very nice rustic home. Approaching you, you see two individuals, one Grigori and one Cyphus. If you gentlemen would like to describe yourselves as you're awaiting at the door.
Grigori, why don't you go first?
Yes.
Grigori is a 6-foot man in long flowing robes, showing his faith to Abadar. As he approaches, you will notice that there's a weight under his robes. Upon closer inspection, he wears a chainmail shirt under them. Heavy make. Very unusual for a priest. His hair is actually, what you can see under his hood, is salt and pepper. The mix of black and gray, same for a beard that goes down to about mid-chest. He has these piercing golden eyes that when he looks at you, you feel that he is looking at you. However, his demeanor is pleasant, quite approachable. He greets Raphael with a nod and a simple salutations, sir.
And a good day to you.
All right, next up, why don't we do Cyphus?
Cyphus is a surprisingly young human, in his mid-20s or so, and he is wrapped very thickly in robes and a large coat that bears some chainmail lining and plates of light metal. He's dressed as though he is constantly cold, and he looks rather unhealthy. He has very pale skin and bags under his eyes, and he's got a kind of oily or sweaty sheen to him that makes you think of someone who is sick. He has dark brown hair, but it has a very oily texture to it that does not look like it would be pleasant to touch. And he is clutching to his chest a large tome bound with verdigrast copper plates. And when he sees Raphael, he smiles and greets him in Katapeshi, the standard language of Raphael's homeland.
All right,
I did
Rigel.
say,
Rigel, you come across a strange individual along the road on your way to Petros Lorimore's home, a place you had spent much of your childhood at. Deacon, you see an individual. If Rigel, you'd like to describe yourself.
Okay. Come up the road, looking not too out of place or of anything real note on the outside. Rigel, you see this rather normal looking on the surface guy, but in reality is a half elf magus. Dressed in clothes you find by his body language he finds a little uncomfortable and seems to be tugging at it a little bit. Tugging at it and muttering it to himself in some way. What sounds on the surface like he's slightly cursing, as in blast, his cousin for losing his actual clothes and having this as sort of a spare. At least unto that. Otherwise, he's a sort of morose thinking about the letter. In fact, when he's almost as if he's not paying attention, this rather regular-looking man is holding the letter he got for about the professor's death in one hand, and a symbol and looks like a worn-out ornament on the other. In fact, he's almost close to bumping into the man ahead if he hadn't stopped and give a bit of a jolt. And stopped before saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see you there. My apologies."
Deacon, how do you look?
All right. Deacon is on the tall side. He's about 6 foot. He has sort of a lean but still muscular build. He's wearing scale mail that anyone familiar with the style would know is Chilaxian, but it's had the paint removed and it's just been sort of painted a dark gray. He's got a traveling cloak, but underneath it you could see he's got sort of a belt or a cross chest piece with a number of different holy symbols on it. He has short black hair and gray eyes. And even though he's a half-elf, he has rounded ears, so he looks very human, but he also has this sort of aloof, elven agelessness to his features.
So Rigel nearly bumps into him, and you almost see this hooded guy almost not paying attention to his surroundings and nearly stopping towards Deacon, going, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see you there." But oh, yeah.
No trouble at all.
No. Sir, your countenance. If I may ask a question, never mind. It's irrelevant. Sorry about that. I nearly bumped into you. I seem to have lost some thought. He puts away both the letter and the strange little decoration that he held back into his coat pockets. Actually, he was wearing a traveling cloak as well, but I guess he was too distracted by his own thought process to be paying attention to even that.
After a moment or two of moving, you two realize that you're going the exact same way to the house of Petros Lurimore, where you see 3 individuals waiting outside.
Yeah, I guess I'm not the... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
After knocking on the door, there's no answer for a moment.
Let's get Raphael, because we haven't gotten his description.
Oh yes,
Hello,
a broad beam of sunlight. You see Raphael. If you describe yourself.
What the?
Let the glorious rays of Seren Ray onto the world.
Yeah, after eyes are... I'm sorry.
Raphael is 6 foot, rather large, not large, but he's a sturdy built man. Also quite young, in early 20s, I suppose that anyone would guess. A bit of a beard on his face, not as glorious as Gregory, of course. This is something that I will have to work towards. He is in his travel clothes. They are darker than what you would normally associate with a Ketapeshi nomad. But, you know, when in Ustalav, dress like you want to die. So he's got a rather large backpack with all of the essentials, you know, a pot hanging off the side, and things of that nature. And 2 weapons, a dagger and a scimitar in his belt. And once he sees Cyphus, and once Cyphus hails him in Katapeshi, he will look at Cyphus. He would peer at him, squinting his eyes, and then realization would dawn on his face. Cyphus? Is that you? You look terrible.
Yes, Raphael. It is I, Cyphus.
Well, it is good to see you again, my friend, and he is going to give you a big hug. Because he's ugly like that.
Yeah, okay.
But tell me, Cyphus, are you unwell? We must...
Well, I'm as well as I am ever, really. But I don't think we're here to speak of me. I think we're here for a altogether darker meeting.
Yes, I am starting to realize this.
It is at that name, Raijo, that you realize that's Cyphus, an old friend of yours. You two had studied together, and at some point, Cyphus just seemed a bit more distant, and you hadn't seen him in who can say how long.
Upon hearing the name Cyphus, he looks around. Cyphus? But he's a little distant. He's a little taken aback at the fact that, well, initially that this almost beam of sunlight in human form just basically came up and just almost not leapt upon him, but was so joyous in meeting him that he nearly leapt up and hugged him. But then Raijo at that moment looks at Cyphus and rather slightly dismayed looks at his appearance. He slightly approaches Cyphus and, well, waiting after he's done with he's done talking with Raphael. He goes, "Hello, Cyphus. You seem to be faring." He almost seems like he squats down to Cyphus's height and just goes, "Oh, sorry about that. I don't know if you remember me or not. We studied together with the professor."
Cyphus will stare at him for a second and say, "Roger."
Roger.
No, that's not it. No, it sounded like something else. Nigel.
Rigel.
That's not it either. Rigel, that's what it was! Rigel! Sorry,
It's all right.
my memories these days is just... It's not not what it used to be.
Rigel shakes his head with a slight gesture like he's waving, but he's going down going, "Don't worry about it." After some time after we started the professor, I must admit, yeah, things have been rather rough for, it seems, most everyone here, especially around this place. I knew he was frequent in Ustalov, but I didn't think he actually lived here. But, Rigel, it's good to see you again, and at that point, Rigel was going to continue, but it seems like he, well, obviously he didn't do any magical checks with it, but you can almost tell by Cyphus' appearance that something's up, which he did check back in the early academy days, but at the same token, it's almost like it gotten worse when you kind of hope it got better. At that point, he takes notice of Raphael, just like, and, sorry about that, sir. Didn't see you there. My name is Rigel.
Raphael.
Oh, Rigel M. Valmalchior, at your service.
It is at this moment you hear a very loud and seemingly... Standing at your feet is a small white cat with black paws. Kendra Lamore's cat, Boots.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kitty. Can I pet the kitty?
Boots?
He is already rubbing against you, annoyed that all of you have yet to pay him any attention.
Oh, I'm going to pick up the kitty.
It's Boots, alright. I've forgotten what he sounded. I guess it's been so long I kind of forgot what he sounded like. Must be looking for rats again. And he says, Rigel says, looking up at Raphael, almost picking up Boots, but almost slightly cuddling him. There's a small, even for all the moroseness that Rigel felt, there's a slight smile on that. And almost in that instance, he shakes his head because it almost in that instant reminded him of the professor. And he tries to snap himself back to reality, grim as it may be.
Despite a dark and dreary day, it seems almost like there's a beam of light coming from behind Raphael.
Oh.
That explains my eye stinging.
Did you know that the common house cat is actually native to the deserts of Kalesh?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I remember something like that. Go ahead.
You hear the door squeak open. Standing as almost a shadow, Kendra Lloyd. Tall, about 6 feet tall, brown hair that seems like it's seen better days, wearing all black, as it is a funeral. It's nice to see you all. I don't know that I've seen all of you together, but come in. As she leads you into the professor's once study, the wall is lined with books, a clock ticking away. You actually recognize this, Grigori. That is one of your mother's make.
I admire it for a brief moment, but I continue on with the rest of the group. I do not let it distract me.
Here, sit, chat. I need to just make sure everything's ready before we begin. My father wanted to know that, wanted to have good men take him into the next life, and if that's not asking too much.
Roger didn't say anything immediately, but upon seeing Kendra and the amount of time they spent together, the fact that Rachel looks now between now and the quite frankly, very jovial, slightly optimistic more than anyone else, but quite adventurous soul to the person before him. If looking at Cyphus didn't cause his stomach to fall to his feet, seeing Kendra in this way definitely caused him some disquiet to the point where he doesn't say anything, almost like a sense of shock. But now, no, he snaps out of it. Pause the group is like, and hears out Kendra, and then goes, "Yes, yes."
Suddenly, there's a on the door. Opening the door, Jack, if you'd be so kind as to describe yourself. A bit late with the shorter legs, but as quick as you could.
So, as you see, Jack is this smaller, about 3 foot tall on average, individual. He's wearing furs. He's wearing furs from many different types of creatures. You're not quite sure what all of the creatures are, but you're pretty sure that fur's thick enough to be used as armor. There's enough fur for that. You see a lance sticking over his left shoulder, and a hammer sitting on this very large-looking ram that's sitting off to his right-hand side, just kind of sitting there chewing on the vegetation in the front yard. Next to it is this large, you don't even know how to describe what this creature looks like to you. If you hybridized a tiger with a plated armadillo and added some canine-like features to it, you would see this war cat sitting there right behind Jack, just kind of looking over his shoulder because it stands a full head and shoulders over Jack, looking at all of you in there with this curious look on its face, while Jack is looking at all of you with a smile on his face. Hey, where's he at? Somebody said he was hiding in a hole in the ground.
Boots approaches your whatever that is and just and it looks at him and just licks him.
Sika would totally look down at Jack, then look down at the small cat, and totally begin treating it like it was her kitten, just kind of licking it, batting it around, and just kind of moving along, following it, figuring out what it knows.
Yeah, Raphael is totally like, oh, they're best friends. Look.
Jack would look at each of you. In order of height, who would be the tallest?
Come now. You've all been measured. You know how tall you are.
It would probably be either me or Grigori who would be the tallest.
So I'd walk in your guys' general directions. Do either of you have a holy symbol out?
Yes.
Unless you count a sword as a holy symbol, no, but at that point, Rigel's slightly just taken aback by this thing, almost Jack bursting the room, he almost takes a couple of steps back and makes for his sword, but
Grigori's
by
holy
that time,
symbols
Jack's
are
already
displayed openly.
Okay. So I would get about within 5 feet of Grigori. I'd pull off my helmet, and my red cap would display proudly from underneath it. It looks like it's made out of red leather, but it looks blood-soaked. And I'd go, "Holy man, get down here!"
Holy man.
Grigori would kneel down for a moment and say, "Yes."
I'm not sure I like that thing that you have right there around your neck. However, you are an extraordinarily tall individual.
He's not that tall.
he touches his neck for a moment and actually looks down a little confused, and then looks at his arm and it's like, "You mean this?" As he pulls up his sleeve and reveals the holy symbols of Abadar tattooed from his hand to his elbow.
Jack was 5 feet away from you. He's now 8 feet away from you.
So wait, you mean like these? And Deacon opens up his cloak, kind of like a watch vendor, and he's got like he's got the main holy symbols, but he's also got like all kinds of like holy trinkets and talismans hanging from his armor.
No.
Jack,
All he did was leave.
All right, so Jack, he flips out. He draws his axe and he's like spinning around in circles, looking at each of you, at all the holy symbols. It was a trap. I knew it. I should have listened to Mom. I knew I shouldn't have come here. It was a trap. It was a trap. What?
Jack, is that you?
Hey, I know that voice.
You scream. Come in. It's far too cold out there. As Kendra is ushering you in, happy to see you.
Paranoia evidence in his voice as he's stomping his way in with his heavy steel-shodden boots. It's just thunk, 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 thunk.
Boots is now standing atop your cat?
Yeah.
I think Raphael is just in the back cracking up. This whole interaction has been very funny.
Oh, at least Raphael finds some humor in this. Rigel's slightly dumbfounded, went from dumbfounded, alarmed, to have I guess still dumbfounded. This whole chain of events. It goes from wait, it's a red cap, and then suddenly I know it's just like wait, Andrew knows this red. I'm confused. And he probably just looks at the group at large with this completely dumbfounded look. His eyebrows at this point 2 separate levels, like. As if he wants to say, what in the name of all that's insane is going on here? And that's also what's helping Raphael crack up. It's just this complete, like, what in the name of look on his face. He's completely lost.
You all look upon this paladin,
Sometimes,
completely baffled.
You need to find 2 things in life that make you happy.
Sure, if they made sense to him, said Rigel. But then he realizes he even introduced himself and doesn't recognize the individual, and then almost as if to regain some semblance of normalcy, he walks up to Raphael and just goes, I apologize, sir. I don't believe we met. Rigel and Val Malchior. He holds out a hand.
You know that name, Raphael. The professor's talked about him.
Well, if we're all introducing ourselves...
Are we?
A Mexican standoff forms.
So Jack, after seeing everybody just kind of walk into the room, he kind of walks in, takes a quick gander around. Hey, where'd you go? What's going on in here? And where is the professor? His ass has been late.
I'm afraid, Jack, he's in the box.
I am. Wait, you know this, Kendra.
Yes, I know.
Well, student is a particular word that involves that I was supplicant to somebody else, and Jack is supplicant to no one. Except for Jack's will. And maybe Sika.
This is good information to have, young Jack.
A touch defensive, don't you think?
Not if you like your kneecaps.
I'm Cyphus LeChance. The professor was my mentor, I guess you could say.
He was mine as well for a brief period of time.
What's a mentor?
A mentor is kind of like a teacher, but he's more than that. Something in between a teacher and a father figure.
Must have been nice for you guys.
To have a father?
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually have a father, so he's what I had.
Guys.
Everyone looks at you.
Kendra would look sad, but she's already there.
Right? She's like, no, I don't have a dad. I've joined the No Dad Club. Great.
It's a great club. We have meetings every Tuesday at 4.
Oh yeah, I know you from the meetings.
I didn't know there were meetings.
Well,
You have to join the mail.
as I told them, Jack, my father would like some good men to be his pallbearers as they take him to the other side. And
Who's Paul?
Damn it.
pallbearer.
Okay, who's Paul?
My father would like you to carry his coffin into the grave.
Why would I do that?
Because he's dead.
He would
And
be
he asked you.
He nudges Jack with his boot. It's like, shh. Honored.
So not only does Jack not understand your subtlety, but he's also still confused as he's looking at her going, so, you're saying you want me to put him in the ground, even though he's, air quotes, sleeping, and I'm supposed to be okay with this? He's not a gnome!
No, he passed away, Jack.
He's right there!
Jack, on this point,
He is,
Rigel
but his
slightly
soul
speaks
isn't.
and goes,
Oh, that actually does make a difference. Do we have to go get it?
No.
Kendra pauses and thinks about it for a moment.
Oh, no.
Right? Wait a second.
If in your journeys you find a way, I would say no. I
Well,
think it's what he would have wanted, but he was getting up there in years, so who knows how strong his soul may be.
I wouldn't recommend it.
well, as long as he's not trying to come back as an undead.
Trust me,
at this point,
sometimes it is just better to stay dead.
Agreed.
agreed.
Yes, that is what my father would usually say as she points to a plaque that reads, better dead than undead.
Right.
Yes.
I'll do
Yeah.
I'll do the Will Smith, like, presenting with both hands, you know what I mean, off to the side.
Bam!
Look how cool my kid is.
Look how cool he is, yeah.
I need one of those.
I do too.
See, the black, better dead than undead. Iowa. Listen to the man. Listen to the black.
Well, I'm about
I'll
as
give
ready
him-
as I can be. Whenever you're all ready, let me know and we'll start the procession.
Right. Well, I fear there might be a problem.
Get your cat.
Is it the height?
Well, no, I have a bar for that. That won't be a problem.
What is
You
the
have a
issue?
what now?
I fear as though we have an even number of people.
And
That's a problem.
so you would have an
But-
uneven. Go ahead.
Sir Gnome, I do believe if you count your cat.
No. There's no gnomes here.
Okay, Jack,
Ooh.
if you count your cat, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'll agree to these terms.
Perfect.
Cue the face.
Thank you, Cyphus. Yeah, it's like thank you, Cyphus. As Rigel rubs his eyes during this whole thing.
Even numbers are bad. How do you not know this?
I'm afraid we're not as enlightened as you.
Enlightened? What?
You're smacking my face so hard with that face palm, I might as well be doing non-lethal damage.
You too, huh? This is the professor we're talking about. Even in death, he attracts all kinds.
He starts looking around at everybody. And at that comment, he kind of thinks about it and he goes, yeah, you guys are a bunch of weirds. It's alright, though.
To be fair, that could be slightly chromatic from my own comment. Now I think about it, so fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, let us not put off this unfortunate duty any longer.
Yes, I feel as we are being quite rude.
I'm
Yes, of course.
not really strong, but I'll do my best.
You can go in the middle.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Ooh. Serendre guide you as I boop you on the nose. I just gave you guidance, so you get a +1.
Please don't do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As you touch him and let your magic flow, your finger feel is very hold.
Interesting. That has never happened before.
It's Ustalov. Things are different here.
He'll gaze at Cyphus a little more calculatingly and then drop it. Okay, anyway, and then he's gonna boop everybody else on the nose.
When he goes, sorry, go ahead. When he gets next to Rigel at that, he's so lost in thought about everything else, the professor, times they had, Kendra and everything else. He goes, and I guide you. He almost makes a move like he's gonna almost counter with that, or he's like, what the? He gets back, draws his fist as if he's gonna fight, and then it's like, and I guide you, like, oh, it's that. Why do you have to try to boot me on the nose? You look like you're about to attack, said Rigel, a little embarrassed about his own reaction, but
Putting you on the nose, making it look like I am about to attack. That is probably the most unattacky move I have ever made in my life, Habib.
You could kiss him.
Never mind, I'll take the boop.
Like they do in Kedepesh.
I don't necessarily swing that
on both
way,
cheeks.
but
Yes,
then
they do that
on
on
both-
Osiron occasionally.
What happens in Katapesh stays in Katapesh.
So, Jack, when you go to Jack, he dodges the first time, looking at your finger, watching it go past him, huh. And then as you go to you look at him and he goes, okay, do it again. And then he lets you do it the second time.
Surrender guide you, boop.
There's a small giggle as he jumps on his mount.
I booped your snoot. Oh, can I boop your cat snoot? I don't care. I'm gonna do it without.
It gives you a look
Surrender
as
guide
though
you,
it's
boop.
just saying you can try.
Right.
Boop, kitty.
Boots meows at you.
Meow. I'll totally meow back at the cat.
It appears to want its own boops.
I see you have not changed.
I will boop the other cat. Surrender guide you, little. Boop.
They both seem pleased.
It rubs against your hand and just scamps off to do whatever it is it likes to do.
I will move over toward the coffin.
All right. Which two are in the front? Which two are in the back?
Grigori will take one of the front.
Jack and Seeker will be in the back.
Rigel will be in the back as well.
I'll take the front position next to Grigori.
All right, then. You've bared many a heavy load in your life, Grigori. This is no stranger to you.
I will say a small prayer to Abadar under my breath.
You hear a hissing noise from behind you. Not quite under breath.
Well, that's neutral.
Upon hearing the hissing noise, Rigel will stop from it, look around, and realize it's Jack. He won't stare for a second, but then he snaps out of it and just goes back to pole bearing.
You hear the same hissing sound. It sounds like laughter.
So, your journey begins here in Loremore's place as you begin making your way north. You can see not exactly a procession, but there are those that have stopped, understood what is going on, and bowed their heads. As you make your way along, you know two stores, one to the left and right of you. As you get here, one is called the Unfurled Scroll, and the other one is the Ravengro Forge. You can see a large female dwarf wailing on a shield, just slowly beating into shape and then stopping at the sight of all of you and bowing her head.
Which spot are we starting? Top right or bottom?
Bottom.
Okay.
What's
I'll mark it
the
again.
religious denomination of this town? This is
Pharasma.
okay. Did I know that the professor was a Pharasma devotee? Was he anything?
The professor was one who worshipped those that fought the good fight to bring good into the world. He was not particular about which god it was and didn't seem fit to pick sides.
Well, then, as I'm going, I will sort of hum a non-specific hymn to myself, just loud enough to carry and be for the mood.
All right then.
What denomination is this hymn?
It's sort of non-specific. It would just be like a general funerary hymn.
Would I know it? Can I roll a?
Yeah, it would be like a religion check.
Oh, it's religion.
I will do this thing because I like humming and music, so I will join if I can. Knowledge, religion. Ow! I know it.
You absolutely know it. It's not as great as the songs you know, but you know this one.
No, that's too upbeat.
It is a funeral. But you make your way past a town square and past a jail and Jaminda's apothecary. You can hear something bubbling despite being outside, whatever it is they're working on. You see the sheriff stepping out of the jail and taking his hat off as you make your procession through. Making your way down to the river, you can see some kids are busy skipping stones and such, and, they get a little nervous. Everyone's kept a fair distance from the body as you make your way to the Restlands, which I shall now move the map there.
Oh, I forgot to even look at the body and consecrate things, which would be in my nature.
All right, then. Do you want to do that now?
Not in the middle of the procession.
Yeah.
That's where we're going. I'll say some last rites and consecrate.
All right, then. You make your way here, slowly making your way up. It's at the top of the hill that roll me a perception check.
All of us?
Anyone in the front, really.
Oh.
That
I'm in the back.
And Grigori.
What direction is the wind flowing?
It is flowing to the east.
To the east. There is no compass rose on this map. I don't know which direction is east. Oh, never mind. I found it.
Mm-hmm. For now, let's just assume that the toppy bit is bit.
Yeah,
I got a
figured
15.
that out.
What about you, Grigori?
All right, then. Grigori, what would you roll?
1 moment.
Well, I figure out this technology is admittedly very new to us.
I do not like technology, bled.
Can I make a motion that the hymn that we're singing is the Cheers theme song?
A really sad downbeat version.
In the world today.
I mean, if it was French, you guys would have to clap the coffin every couple of moments.
I'm okay with that. Thunk, 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 thunk.
Okay, Grigori is having trouble finding perception.
That
on
would be
his
pretty
sheet.
funny, actually.
Perception's
So first
near
page
the
of character
bottom
sheet,
of your skills.
Oh, there we go.
Main page on the skills.
All right, then.
You roll the 19.
At the top of the hill, you see 4 gentlemen, one standing out from the crowd, a good foot taller than everyone else, gray hair balding at the top, blocking Kendra Lorimore's path. You note that all of the men seem to have clubs, rakes, various tools that could very easily be used as weapons.
Standard Angry Village Mob. You must have been part of the Angry Village Mob committee.
Do I feel threatened?
You're in the back, so...
I'm in the center.
Oh, well, I mean, you're more worried about one of the two, having too much beans. You can't really see anything, and you don't see that the others are slowing down.
Oh, but is the front of the procession within 30 feet of me?
You are about there now. You guys are the front of the procession. There are not many people following you. There's just Kendra in the front.
Then Sika would be growling now.
All right, then.
And she would start to creep off into whatever direction is advantageous.
Wait, aren't you riding Sika?
No, I'm riding Ba, which is my ram.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about the ram.
I was concerned for a moment that you were just dangling.
Well, no wonder there's nobody following us.
Right, Sika's pretty terrifying.
Well, they put their tokens on the map.
Yes, get our tokens out there.
Those aren't ours.
No, those are the bad guys.
Angry mob.
Right.
You boys
About the
are
soon-to-be
right
dead guys.
here. While Kendra is at the front, chatting to the rather large individual.
I will roll a perception, not a perception check, a sense motive,
Alright then.
just to make sure if they are really going to give us trouble, and I have no idea what's going on because they are too far away and I cannot hear them.
The rather large thug steps up, the balding man with grey hair. Alright, that's far enough. We've been talking and we don't want to load him up buried here in the wrestlings. You can take him upriver and bury him there if you want, but you ain't going in the ground here. Kendra quickly, her sadness transforming into anger. What are you talking about? She cries out. I arranged it with Father Barrow and he's waiting for us. The grave's already been... You don't get it, woman. We won't have a necromancer buried in the same place as our kin. I suggest you move out while you still can. Folks are pretty upset about this.
I would like to turn to Raphael and say, perhaps it is a good time for some divine intervention, my friend.
I will agree with you.
Jack looks at all of you and goes, "This sounds like a bad idea. You guys should lower the coffin."
Yeah, let us slowly put the coffin down.
As you do, Kendra barks back at him. Necromancy, are you really that ignorant? And then he smacks her to the ground with his big meaty hand.
Rigel just launches. Rigel just launches at that point. At this point, he just sees that, and he's like, "No!" And he's basically launching himself. He's basically, after seeing that, he's just rushing like, "Who are you?"
Got it. You're launched.
Can I grab Rigel before he does
He's lit.
something?
Rigel's lit. I think he's gone.
Can I grab Rigel before he causes too
Well,
much of a stir?
let's roll initiative first.
Yes. Grigori has his hand up one of his sleeves for a moment. It looks as though he's got his arms crossed under his robes.
Each of you are holding the coffin. It would take a full round to lower it gently. Or you can let go and get fighting.
Yeah, I am letting go and then curling up in the fetal position.
Let's see, where's
Why
sorry,
did not add you all to it?
If you put the tokens down, we can add ourselves automatically.
Oh, well, you guys can put yourself down.
We can't.
Oh,
Only if
that's
we
right.
have the tokens.
Yeah, we don't actually have our tokens.
Huh. Alright then. Very, very strange.
Oh, hello, Mr.
This is not where you are all located. I'm just putting them down quickly.
Oh god, we have control of everything.
Too much power.
Too much power.
Too much power!
Let's see.
Do you want us to re-roll?
Yeah, just to get it on the board.
Alright, so if you select your guys' token and then roll for initiative, it should send it.
Also, for those listening at home,
Character sheet.
Yeah, mine has been sent, but make sure you have your your token selected when you roll.
Let's see if it works. Woo!
for those watching at home, I'm going to be my roll off roll 20.
Oh, to re-roll or?
Yes.
Okay.
Becomes
Very well.
a little bit of bugginess.
Okay. Let's see. Save changes. No.
Alright,
Yeah.
I have to put a big old kitty cat on the map.
I have you have Sika's token. There you go.
There you go.
Let's see.
That was
Here.
Raphael was in the center.
Oh, Nev 22. Yeah.
Gregory was.
Rigel's launching.
Alright then.
Rigel sees. By the time he sees me guy slapping Kendra, yeah, he almost is almost in a little bit of state of shock. But then as soon as that thing's the Professor Larimore's down, he's just running like a lightning bolt.
Alright, it's a full
You son of
round.
a-
Gently lower him down.
Yeah, in that moment he's in shock. And,
Okay, you're letting go?
Well, everyone else. Let's see what. D. No, not D. Who dropped? All right. So right hand side dropped. Front.
So the
No.
middle is let go.
All of right hand side has let go so far that I know of.
I haven't
You
let go.
guys just drop.
Oh,
the
okay.
coffin.
Well,
Yeah.
only the front and back have it, and only half of which is there. I guess I'm still holding coffin. Okay.
So you have this weird tilt.
Actually, I just moved directly to the rearmost when it happens, and just I'm holding it from the rearmost.
So,
while you-
how many people are still holding on to this thing?
I think
3.
we have. Okay, 3.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's just go through and say what each of us is doing the moment initiative starts. I'm dropping into the fetal position. So that's the center character right here.
You are.
Yeah,
So you-
this one dropped into fetal. Who is it? He's charging. And I'm picking up the slack when he charges off.
Yeah,
Oh.
so-
Alright.
Oh.
Those holding
Sorry.
on, roll me a strength check.
Iowa.
Oh boy.
Enhanced strength, don't fail me now.
Alright then.
All right, Jack is strong.
I think it's really
Deacon.
more a surprise for Grigori.
Right.
Actually, Jack and Deacon, you're on the right side, yes?
I'm
So
on the left rear.
I'm on
Okay.
right front, so
We have this thing going cockeyed.
Whoa! Put it down! Put it down! Put it down! Put it down!
that's pretty much
All
what
right,
I'm
then.
saying.
Right.
The 3 of you
Yeah.
let go, and the other 3 try as the best as they can to hold on. Raphael, you were not ready for this sudden shift with no one telling you what was going on, and your grip falls, and the professor's body rolls out of his coffin. You can see that
No.
they have done their best to take care of him, but his face has clearly been smashed in.
So where does it roll?
Oh, it's about there. It's not really far
it
and
rolls that
falling
way.
far.
Okay.
Corpses aren't known for their mobility.
At that point-
beside himself.
Well, okay, so Weekend at Larimer's is not going as well as we wanted, but
All right.
Weekend at Lorimore.
You can
So-
hear sudden shock coming from those that are simply watching this procession at the body falling. So, Rigel, you're launching yourself?
Yeah, he launched himself, which is the main reason why the casket just aged.
But that halfway through the point, Rigel almost acting instinctively stops, looks at what happened, and suddenly he realized, "Oh crap, I did that." Then he just looks at the procession, looks at Kendra and the assailant, and he's almost split for a minute. He's almost split, and then suddenly he just resumes his charge against the Kendra's assailant
Oh shit.
with a mutter of
Didn't
"I'm sorry, Professor." Before, yeah, he's on back on the charge.
Professor very much cares.
All right, then.
I'm gonna try and Raphael is going to try to get the body back into the casket. Oh, Serenray, help us.
So, Rigel, you're charging the individual at the front?
Yeah.
All right. Roll me your attack.
well, so are you attacking, or are you more just leaping to the lady's defense, so you can like get between them and like go into full defense? You know, doing like the anime
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, kind of that thing. If he's gonna go for a second attack, Rigel's gonna get between Kendra and the attacker, and yeah, basically brace himself. At this point, he's ready to clock this guy hard. He doesn't care if he has. Well, I don't know if he has a sword or not, but at this point, he doesn't care.
Gibbs has a large tree branch that he has ripped out of a nearby tree that he's using.
Oh,
He does not look ready to hit her again. She's on the ground. You just seem to take offense being called ignorant.
Let's see, attack, you say? Let's see,
Well, hang on. So, are you doing like an actual attack? Is it going to be like a non-lethal attack? Or are you just... Because if you're going into full defense, then that's your action. That's not an attack.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the appropriate position.
Let's see. Sorry about that. Which button do you press for attack? Well, actually, no. It's not. It's not attack. It's more getting between the two of them, and Rigel's drawing his sword right at the person as soon as he sees the tree branch. Do that again, and I will cut your arm off. Kendra, you were right.
Is that too loud, folks?
Sorry.
No, I think we're good on volume.
Okay. Oh, it stopped abruptly. Fantastic.
At this point, Rigel's focus is split. Again, he realized he just messed up royally. Looking at what happened with the casket and looking at this, but again, he realized he just, no pun intended, cast the die, so now he's committed to his action.
All right.
Intend your puns, you coward.
Yeah, well, where I'm from, puns are not exactly a good thing, but hey, was got some form of what to do. But never mind. You were saying? Sorry.
All right. So let's see that attack. What did you roll, Rigel? I don't see it.
He's not attacking.
Yeah, he's not attacking.
Oh, he's not attacking.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's basically... could he do like a combat maneuver to basically pull her out of that square and put himself there?
Yeah, it's just a reposition.
Yeah.
No biggie. You're standing
there we go.
between this large individual, Kendra. I don't know who you are, stranger. Give us the body, and this will all be done.
You go near that body, and believe me, sir, you will not like what you're gonna get. Now, what in the name of Desna and everything that's saying is all your collective problem? Said Rigel, still angry at this.
He's a necromancer. He's brought death upon this land. We intend to return the favor. Bury him off somewhere so his curse would him and not us.
Rigel almost at that point, he's still pissed off this whole chain of events, but the fact that he said, "Oh, bring death upon us," just opened his mouth. Death! Sir, do you not realize what we are? This is Ustalav. Undead are rising all over the place. What do you think you are, Absalom?
This is a safe place. We keep the peace. We don't deal with such undead. And we don't deal with him.
All right, so I'm going to turn to those remaining pallbearers and say, let's put the coffin down. We should probably get in on this and back our
We haven't put the coffin down yet?
We've been trying to, but...
it's turns.
Yeah.
It's your turn, Cyphus.
I don't see Grigori on the initiative list, though he got a...
Yeah, mine got reset to a lower number, so it was like, what the hell? Mine changed to 9 and 7 instead of 15 and 17. But I'm not complaining. I'm still in the order.
Well, I'm just more concerned that Grigori isn't on there at all.
Oh, he didn't click his icon and then reroll.
Oh, dang.
I did.
Oh, it didn't show up if you did it.
I don't know when he's going. I am curled up the ground and I'm saying, Grigori, it's coming.
Oh no.
Jackson,
you feel deep within you, Cyphus, like the waves pulling back to form into a massive tidal wave about to crash upon the land. So what do you do, Cyphus?
Grigori will quickly actually tell Cyphus, Remember the breathing exercises we worked on. Calm yourself now. It is not the time.
All right, and I will pass my turn.
All right, then. One of the men steps past Gibbs and makes their way to the body. They seem keen on taking it. Another one comes with him, flanking the other side. And the other one is pushing forward, trying to give Gibbs some backup. Raphael, it's your turn. You see the body of the professor by your side. What do you do? Raphael?
Dun dun dun.
He's
I forgot to take
speechless.
mute.
Okay.
Again, always with the bullshit. Okay, sorry. Raphael, yes, what do you need? I'm getting the body back into the casket.
Alright then.
This is what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my, Dawnflower, help us all, please. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Roll me a reflex real quick.
Forgive me, Habib. Forgive me. And we go for reflex. Okay, a little better.
Yes, you managed to quickly scoop the professor up in your arms before the other one can even lay a finger on it and lay it down in the coffin, closing it.
I will then. Do I have more actions, or is that?
You do. I'll say that was just the move action to reposition him. Some
Alright.
folks in the comment might be yelling, that's not how reposition works, but my game, my rules.
That's not how reposition works.
Look, he's repositioned him.
Look, I'm waiting for D6 to put out the video on repositions. Then I'll know how it works.
Yeah, get on it, these things.
Yeah,
Sorry,
what the
I'm
hell?
dropping the ball here. And
Well, you
people are
dropped
dropping
and
the
the
bodies,
professor.
and everything's
And the
dropping.
professor.
Oh, bodies
And
are hitting the
to
floor
be-
today, folks.
But the bodies hit the floor.
To be fair,
The body already hit the floor. Okay. We're all
In the no.
there.
in
Okay,
D6 defense, I think Rigel already, he caused that. So Rigel's like, no, that's my bad.
It's dominoes. So what are you doing, Raphael?
I am going to. It's either going to be a diplomacy check or an intimidate check. I basically want everyone to stop.
All right.
Stand up and yell, "Enough!"
Roll me diplomacy.
That would be diplomacy. Okay, I will.
Yes.
I roll you diplomacy just for you, Habib. I do this for you, my friend. Oh wait, no.
Yes. Okay. For me, it was a blank number.
Ah yes, the blank number. Sorry.
They do not seem receptive to what you have to say. Gibbs,
What if I channel my positive energy? If I give a big yellow wah.
I would give that a bonus, but that still doesn't seem to be enough to turn the tide.
Okie doke. I forgot to cast guidance on myself.
Guidance, a little motivational speaker of spells.
I pooped everyone else's snoot except for my own.
Also, unfortunately, I skipped Jack, so we'll get to Jack next. All right, Jack, what are you doing?
All right, so Raphael's putting the corpse back in the casket. The casket is now at this point low enough for Raphael to do this, so I'm going to let it go so it'll be on the ground level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to order Sika, eat that one. I don't like him. And I would point to
All
this
right.
one, and Sika would charge him.
All right, roll me that attack. Sika seeks. All right, so Sika leaps into the air, biting into the back of his neck, bringing him down.
Ooh.
Yeah, he did not like that.
If he's still alive,
Unconscious.
unconscious but alive? I'll let
Unconscious
Sika-
but alive.
You didn't order her to knock him out.
No. All right,
Look,
so-
quite
when
clear
you
on
train
your
that thing to wield a sap, then we'll talk about knockouts.
No, I trained him to kill. Her to kill. It's fine. I'm charging this one, but I'm doing it in a somewhat roundabout way.
All right.
So I'll end here
All right.
with the charge.
Sequel
and
will have to kill on the next turn, unless she gets multiple attacks at level 1, in which case,
she does. She has multiple.
She's got raked.
Sheepers! It's a prone body, he's dead.
Yeah.
Shit. Sorry, shoot.
No, it's been past the first minute.
Been 10 minutes. We're good.
All right, so that's her claw, and because he's down on the ground, her rake goes
Yeah.
off and eviscerates
Rather
him.
loud scream from the people behind you
He is
watching
destroyed.
and begin to run.
My God, you.
All right, yeah.
Chest cavity. You crit on the rake.
Yeah, I did. I was.
Like,
All right,
Jesus.
Jesus.
you hear Kendra
In front of us.
let out a scream at the sight of you guys murdering people.
Oh, and I do double damage on the charge to this guy,
Oh, Jesus.
so it does 14 instead of 7.
Yeah, you kind of rip him from top to bottom.
Well, you have to charge in a straight line.
Oh, this
Huh.
escalated quickly.
I
I
did
mean,
charge in a straight line. I just didn't move in a straight line. I charged
Now-
from here to here.
Well, hey,
That's
so
not
what
how
about,
that
what about this
works.
fence here?
The fence?
Yeah, or a wall or whatever that is.
Hey,
the
there's
little
a stone
wall. I'm a
fence.
goat. Yeah. All right, I'll roll for it. Make sure I get the charge off properly.
But a charge is still in a straight line.
I did charge in a straight line. I told you.
No,
that.
you moved in one straight line so that you could then charge in a straight line. That's 2 lines, which is not straight.
That doesn't
Geometry was never my best subject.
I mean, technically, I could have just charged from here to here, and that's still a straight line.
No, you couldn't because there's things in the way.
I'm on.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you. Wait, allies don't count for that.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, if you don't care about
For
spearing
charge.
them, how much do you care about your allies dying?
I'm debating that right now. Give me a second.
Hey,
So, for those of you listening, it took us an hour to get to the shit show, but we're here. We made it.
yep, we'll be riding this till the end of time.
I would like to point out that I, who's normally the murder hobo, has not murdered anyone.
Yeah, step up your
I
game.
think
Bring
this
in
is
the
a great step in my evolution as a player.
I tried so hard.
And got so far.
But in the end,
In the end,
Doesn't even matter.
And for once, it wasn't my fault either.
Right.
yeah, Gregory didn't even say something that initiated a fight.
So, what do you say, Jack? Are you going to count them or not?
Double move. I'll charge through an ally.
All
I
right.
don't know him yet.
Wonderful.
I don't know him yet.
Well, I know who's not getting excluded from the tentacle burst.
You're on the ground, so
I will roll handle animal so he can, so my mount can avoid him, because that's all I really have to worry about.
roll me a reflex save, Cyphus, though it's going to
Oh,
be very
man.
difficult on the ground.
Where's my character sheet? I'm not really good at reflex.
Welcome to level 1, folks. We're not good at much, except Jack at mass murder.
10.
Yes.
Okay,
Dodged him.
not a heavy ram, so
Nope.
4
Dodge.
points of damage. This gets you
Kicked in the
right in the
stomach.
abdomen.
but do the
Right
tentacles
there.
pop out?
No, no,
yeah,
he just
well,
flipped him.
when my turn comes around.
All right,
He's
so
been
yes, you rip that individual in half. Deacon, you're up. Kendra
So,
Lorimore lets out a very loud scream at you guys murdering these guys.
What do you mean, you guys?
Not
I
us.
haven't done anything. I tried to make them stop.
Don't worry, Raphael, you're a good boy. You're excused.
No.
Am I still holding the coffin?
Yet.
Yeah, you're the
Are
only
you?
one.
I was in the so when initiative started, I would have been in the process of attempting to
It's
put
on
it
the ground
down.
at this point.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground at this point. So the guy next to me is dead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gibbs and the other individual look ready to run.
Okay,
Those-
you know,
both
I
of
have
those
just
guys are
seen
super
I've just
dead,
seen
huh?
a little red cap go on a little red cap rampage. So for the sake of myself, I am drawing my my bastard sword, and I am going to enhance it with my legacy weapon. So it is +1. And I am ready to start swinging at anything that looks. I'm looking all over. I'm looking at the cat. I'm looking at the peasants. I'm definitely looking over my shoulder at Jack. I am ready for the shit show proper
Taking a clarion call.
with some +1 bastard sword.
All right. So, Rigel, you're up.
Rigel's kind of dismayed at this turn of events. He only stopped to. He only ran in charging to defend Kendra and stop this whole thing from happening, but now it's. Well, now things just happened, so.
Now 2
He's
people are
the-
dead. Good job.
Well, only one of us is guilty of murder right now.
A net win.
Yep.
Well,
So
I will probably be guilty of murder in a second here.
the point is, the grave digger suddenly has a lot more work.
Rigel at this point, feeling incredibly guilty, then suddenly goes up to Gibbs and goes, "Call off your party now, before the rest of them die."
He seems less paying attention to you and more getting ready to run.
With the-
The twisted gleam in Jack's eye as he starts to tilt his head and look at the two remaining people. Am I supposed to kill them next?
Let's
You
see.
note, unseen to you before, 2 thugs that were standing behind a small shed have quickly run away at the sight of all of this, not even willing to be part of the combat.
At this point, Rigel puts away his blade. And let's try I guess diplomacy if I can try it, but he's gonna go. Everyone, stop!
Diplomacy has long held.
Yeah, they seem more keen on running away.
Jack, all you hear from Jack is, "Kill that one next! Kill that one next! He started it all!"
No, we're not doing that.
Don't worry, I can get rid of the bodies.
At this point, all Rigel can do after all this is go to Kendra and just try to help her up. And he's like, "I think we are." It's like, "I know we're here to bury the professor. I don't think we're going to do any good here. Let's go."
Oh, that's right. I'm probably going to vaporize his body too.
Well, Gibbs starts running. Cyphus, you're up. There's one last person there who's kind of more too shocked to gather his courage and run like a girl.
I think if I hadn't taken damage, I would have been able to resist the powers
Yeah,
within
why
me.
did you take damage again?
Oh, because someone ran over me with a goat.
He was rammed.
How?
He
though?
was rammed.
Where was he starting? Was he like over
Right here.
Jack started there and went here.
No, you were back behind me. You're here.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you should.
Well, then I
you
didn't
should-
actually hit you.
should be like over here.
Because I didn't go through a quarter of your square, so I shouldn't have even hit you at all.
Well, it depends on how Doom wants to do it. If he's doing it by
Well,
squares,
if you didn't
straight
get hit,
line.
then you didn't get hit.
I think it's more fun if I got hit. But
It's up
Alright.
to y'all.
Tell you what, high or low?
hi,
I thought I was here.
You got hit.
I was here.
not hit. Okay, well then I don't vaporize people.
No, you got hit.
Alright.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I vaporize people. I'm going to exclude Grigori, Raphael, the daughter, and I guess Rigel.
All right.
What about
Yeah, I would love to exclude him, but there's the issue of me not knowing him really well, and I know Rigel.
oh,
So while it's Rigel's fault to an extent that we're in this, and Jack's fault most certainly that we're in this, I can only do so much.
fair enough.
So
Dun, dun.
Goat, Jack, the Warcat, the last guy, and Deacon, and anyone else within 30 feet of me needs to make a fortitude save.
Well, could have been a worse one. Okay, let's... This is for... How many points of damage are we talking about?
It's only gonna be 5.
Oh, okay.
Tune in next week, kids, when we play Giant Slayer because everyone died.
Oh, I don't do that much damage, but the dead bodies are gonna disappear. Alright, Sika makes it and only takes 2.
Woo!
Deacon takes it and only takes 2. Jack takes 5, which pays him back for the 4 he did to me. What about the goat?
Goat has more than enough HP to not worry about it.
Okay.
No, not.
I mean, still roll. Unless it decides to just not dodge.
Alright, hold on. You said it was fort?
Mm-hmm.
One second. Because pulling up his fort is a little bit annoying.
As these black tendrils of smoke reach
Plus
out
4,
from me.
so 18 for the
Alright,
goat.
cool. So it only takes 2 as well. These black tendrils of smoke lash out from me and slap and wrap around anyone within 30 feet of me.
A
Sapping the
chill
life from them.
falls over all of you, as every bit of darkness and shadow seems to veer towards Cyphus, coalescing into his, and then black tentacles fire out from everywhere.
Whoa.
What the?
So
Can
when I see the
make-
darkness
is that-
coming in, I'm going to reach under my cloak and put my hand on one of the holy symbols. I didn't give into the darkness before. It will not take me now.
Can I make a knowledge religion check on this?
Absolutely.
I would like to as well.
I will do this thing. I've never seen such a thing in my life. That is a 13 for my knowledge religion.
You know that you don't know what that is.
I also got a 13.
Okay!
You have read into a lot of dark and terrible things, Deacon. Not a clue what that could be. It does scare you, though.
Jack lowers his lance, turns back the other way, and goes, "Alright, Sika, I think we found the traitor in the group." Well, that was fast.
Yes, you!
Look at that. He attacked everyone in 30 feet. There's black stains on everything.
I know my accent is completely different.
See, I get off. Everyone complains about my accent. I just change characters. As these black tentacles rip from your form, breaking left and right, Gibbs takes off running as 3 individuals approach all of you. Father Grimborough, the priest of this area, and 2 grave diggers.
Who would approach after that?
People that are not willing to, that are unafraid of charging towards those that need help.
Jeez, alright. Stand
It's
up,
only
folks, I
momentary
guess.
madness.
Jack dismounts and begins to chop the body of the one he exploded with his lance into smaller pieces, making
I
it
think
easier
the
to
body
store.
has been-
Oh wait, did the black tentacles like evaporate it?
So anything it kills, it evaporates.
Oh, anything.
leaving
But what if it's
only
already dead?
clothes. I don't know. That'll be up to the DM.
Okay.
High or low?
Oh shit. Hi.
Hi, nice to see you too. Yes,
Oh, that's
they are
pretty
in
high.
fact disintegrated.
Oh great.
right, well,
well,
in that
there's no
case-
body to bury.
All right. Yeah. So Jack doesn't get off his mount. He just looks down. He goes, "That's weird."
Well, look, all their clothes are still there. I
What?
clothes beam them,
What gibberish going on here?
and now there's no professor to bury.
A cremation,
Did you
apparently.
disintegrate the professor's body too?
Yeah.
Everything at 30 feet.
I'm going
all
to
the grass.
God.
I'm going to say, as a rule of thumb, that the coffin, it was protected. If a nuclear blast can't affect those in a refrigerator, then
Well.
a
That
coffin-
refrigerator was lead lined. That was a 50s
I was just
refrigerator.
about to say that was
Yeah.
50s refrigerator.
Yeah, but it's more the explosion that's the issue at that point.
or the landing, or his internal organs. Take your pick, really.
Oh man.
However you want to do it.
But yes, I will say that the body has been protected. The coffin has been scoured by this power, though. What once was a clean black sheen is now look as though it's aged 100 years.
So, did any of the civilians who were following the train get caught in the blast?
No, they ran at the sight of a creature ripping the neck out of someone, and then another man being ripped in
Predator.
half.
Oh, well, they are Ustalov, and they know what they're doing in terms of that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they know to run away from that.
Yep.
But a withered old man approaches all of you, Father Grimburrow. What is going on here? What have you done?
Saved you some burial.
I did.
Are we out of initiative?
You are out of initiative
Okay,
because everyone else has run
I'm
away.
moving over here, weapons still drawn.
Backing into a corner.
Can you remove the no longer corpses?
Sure. The dust in the wind fades away.
Pick up all the clothes and any items they left behind. If no one else is doing it, he just kind of runs around, picks up all the stuff.
Nothing of real note, and as you're grabbing these clothes, they seem to disintegrate as well.
Ha.
I'm also going to take out a cracked holy symbol of Caden Kalen, and I'm going to be trying to activate its healing powers unsuccessfully.
All right.
I guess I will do another walk. I'm gonna walk over here, and then I'm gonna do another channel energy.
So yes, Father Grimburrow is completely confused at all of the murder that's just happened on this holy land.
Well, I'm crying and rocking back and forth.
What have you done? Speak.
Gregory, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, Gregory. It just happened.
It is all right, Cyphus. I proceed to comfort Cyphus.
Oops, no.
Think of the rabbit, Cyphus.
The rabbits I vaporized. Oh
So
shit!
is Lenny.
Alright, I'm now 30 feet away from him. I'm outside of the black circle.
So, is anyone going to speak up for these murders?
What murders, sir?
Jack did it.
There were no murders.
I clearly saw them from atop the hill. I came as
Jack's like,
fast as I
"Nobody, no
could to
crime,
try
man."
and break this up.
There was no murder, though.
There was. Do not lie to a man of God.
I have not
Sees
lied.
all your sin.
I don't lie. I don't know how.
Roll bluff.
But it's not a bluff.
Jack murdered a lot.
But he didn't murder anyone.
Based off.
He killed in what was self-defense of his ally who was picking up a corpse.
Nobody had attacked Raphael though.
Yeah, they did. Someone
They
said
did not.
No, he tried
he
to
had
grab.
to dodge.
Well, no, he tried
No.
to grab the corpse.
Yes, that was to grab the corpse before someone else grabbed it off.
I heard Raphael. That's my misinterpretation.
Got
That's
it.
Okay, I'll stick with it.
The trigger word for Jack is hearing a name.
Right.
Someone say Jim!
Roger.
Trembling at, no, sorry. Trembling at what happened and in some shock, Rigel looks at this whole thing, looks at Kendra, looks at the professor, and then, with the slight solemnness, goes up to the father and goes, I apologize, Father. I think in my haste to try to protect Kendra, I might have caused this. You see Rigel just trembling at this, realizing the gravity of what happened and his very rash action. We were accosted by villagers that tried to prevent the burial, and then they attacked Kendra. I moved to try to protect her, I guess, and then it all. Rigel just stops right there. Just a really crestfallen look, and yeah, he's trembling. There's a slight tremble of what's going on.
So preach it,
Right.
dude.
My name is Father Grimburrow.
Grim. What?
Burrow.
Burrow? Huh. You must have some halfling in your blood. Anywho. So, why were you watching on a hill? Why didn't you come down earlier?
I believe he was
came as
going to
quick as I
officiate the
could.
funeral.
Ah, okay. It took you a little while. It's okay, though. We took care of your problem children.
I am old, and you have not taken care of them. The way to peace and understanding is through words, not blades.
You're right. He didn't listen to words.
I will think to myself, and he certainly is at peace.
Bits and pieces.
Kendra, do you know these people? Yes, they were good friends of the professor and of my father, and he asked for them to take him on, and I think with all of the emotions of the day, they got out of hand. He looks a bit put off by such a downplay of the reaction, but I will speak to the sheriff tonight, but we shall continue to honor your father's memory for now. And he, with the gravediggers, follows you, or leads you all up to the professor's grave, and lower the body down.
Jack is very confused by the turn of events, but overall, he seems, not a bad day. Runs back over to, before we move the body, he runs back over to one of the piles of blood, kind of re-soaks his cap, gets it nice and ready for the next couple of days, and then he puts it back on and gets ready.
Raphael sees what you do and shudders.
The father begins to speak, pulling out a book and reading. He says a quick prayer to Pharasma for guiding the soul on. Professor Petros Lorimore was a good man. He cared about those around him, and he made good friends with many a strange individual as he looks across all of you, except you, Raphael. He does not seem to give you a dirty look.
Jack looks back at him with the most quizzical look of curiosity that could be managed.
The world grows dark at the loss of such a good man, but we must push on. We must carry with him his spirit and make the world a better place that he would like to see. He says another quick prayer, and the gravediggers begin doing their work, slowly but surely filling the grave. Kendra sits and watches the entire time, waiting and watching just the grave for a few moments after it's done, and then rises.
Jekka would, while they're officially burying him, be rubbing her back or shoulders from on top of his mount if she's standing, and if she's sitting, then right next to her.
She's sitting. There are some seats that have been put up. Simple make, wicker.
But yeah, that's what Jack's doing. He's just comforting her. He goes, it sucks to lose family. I lost a dad.
As did I. As the body's finished burying and she rises, simple drip, drip as it begins to rain. You make your way back to Lorimer's place. You note the townsfolk seem to give you a wide berth and many a nasty look. They seem very put off by what you've all done.
All? One.
Jack's looking at everyone back with the most inquisitive and quizzical look on his face, like, what's wrong with you?
Okay,
what happened to your face?
I'm going to level with you, buddy. That was a no-no, what you did. That was not okay. No.
And now you get all experience as a group, so you all get punishment as a group. We're all in this flaming dirigible together.
I'm not quite sure I did anything wrong.
But as you make your way to the Lorimer's place, there's a man there waiting to read the will of Petros Lorimore. And I think that's a good place to take a break.
Nice.
Anyone needs to use the bathroom.
All right,
such.
let's take 5 minutes.
Y'all made some choices today. Boy,
I like my choices.
Quickly.
I like my choices. They're good choices.
No choice in this, and I am upset.
There was nothing Grigori was able to do, and Grigori is actually quite miffed about this.
These choices were made without my consent.
At least I didn't kill anyone.
I was putting down. I wanted to put down the casket and start talking to him, but then all of a sudden, roll initiative.
Yep. There was stuff for talking, but I kept hearing a drop, 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 fight, fight, fight.
No, God damn it, that was aggravating. All right, smoke him if you got him. I'll
Yep.
be right back.
Yes, I'll be back as well.
Well, at least I didn't murder anyone.
So for everyone listening, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we will be back with you shortly. So the adventure and the mayhem will continue. Well, I am back.
As am I.
Right, me as well.
Well, let's check chat and see if anything's going on there.
How we all doing?
Oh, we're all doing good. We've got some people hanging out in chat.
Would that be the
Vision
D6
Needler
chat?
was trying to sell us on a 3-minute break, but he finally broke down and accepted 5. Don't worry, buddy. We're back and we're ready for action again.
We've returned.
All right then.
After these messages,
Is it the-
back.
Yeah, is it the D6 chat that we're
It's the stream chat.
Oh.
I should probably look at that.
Nothing that interesting going on in it. Sounds like a lot of people look forward to watching it later, but
A massive burn to all 14 people watching.
Well, on another note, I'll probably say this beforehand, but yeah, I did have an arc for a little bit for when Rigel was gonna have his character growth, but I guess that's the times table just chalked up right there. Yeah, this gets them.
Coming out, character growth takes time. We can't be fully realized individuals on episode 1. We'll have nowhere to go from there.
Yes, but it all starts with the world class F up, and this one's Rigel's.
Well, you got to build your arc before it starts raining, you know?
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm aware, just, yeah. I was kind of hoping for a couple episodes in before the Orange Grade screw up, and, well, nope.
Alright, so, Nito, this is my character sheet. We're dealing with a half-elf occultist here. These are my stats. That 18 in strength is actually, I have a +2 temporary modifier from one of my implements, the transmutation one, so that's kind of a cool feature. Let me see if I can open up anyone else's.
yeah, you should be able to open everybody's.
Yeah. Here's our Elder Mythos Cleric. Cultist, rather. Wow, look at that low strength score. Very withered.
I got a surprisingly good other scores, though.
Yeah, that's true. I like that Constitution.
Yeah. Gonna need it if I keep getting run over by goat.
Here is Grigori. It's very dexterous. I think that goes along with the height.
Long limbs.
I was always very on another player, and mine was standing a good 6.5 feet tall, had bulging muscles. He seemed completely jacked. He was the dex character, and the other one was a rather short, nimble-looking fellow who was the strength character. We were best friends.
Here is Jack, who is a gnome half drow. I don't entirely understand that one, and I don't.
We changed that. He's half red cap.
He's got a pretty darn decent Constitution score, and he's a divine caster, so Wisdom is his modifier. At least I think. Yeah, it is. Here's Raphael, who is an ASMR. Who's pretty well-rounded. 17 in both charisma and wisdom. 14 strength, 14 con. Just not bad all around. And lastly, here is Rigel. He's got that big 18 strength and, wow, 18 int. So, good little character here.
He's been working out both the muscles of his arms and his mind.
Yeah, he spends all that time lifting big, heavy books. It's bound to build up.
If you bench press books, you work out your brain and your muscles.
In the library, bro, do you even lift? He's lifting like 2 shelves.
Has anyone ever watched The Good Place?
I've seen the first episode.
The main character, or one of the main characters, Chidi, a professor in ethics, is an extremely nerdy individual and very smart. But then we got to see him shirtless, and he is jacked.
Ooh, Vincent is wondering if you could do a video on Roll20. That would require us to be competent at Roll20. We're all kind of in the same boat as you, trying to figure out. I'm running 2 5th edition games right now, trying to use Roll20, and I am not savvy with this stuff. But they have made it pretty easy to do modules because they have the whole the official modules on D20 that you can pay for, and then you get everything's already set up for you. I don't know. I guess we could look into doing a video on it, but I'm not sure how expert we are at it. But we could cover some of the basic stuff.
We can always put out a video. It's a matter of whether we can put out a good video.
Oh, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, once we get a little more into it, a little more real life XP, we can put out a decent Roll20 video and walk people through the steps.
That should be a fundraiser or something.
Yeah, we could probably do something like that.
Real life XP.
I've been spending most of my attempts at XP via role playing. It's getting me nowhere.
I don't go for good builds. You don't go for min-max builds, Doom.
Oh, I most certainly do
life.
not.
Neither do we.
I specialize in dumb choices. At one point, dealing with a massive horde of zombies as a frog person with a racial ability to let me get a bonus to escape artist checks because of my slippery slime, I went, hey, can I take my slime and just coat the towers of these stairs with it as the zombies approach? DM? Yeah, sure, that sounds like an idea. I do that. The zombies all shamble up and then thump, and then shamble up and thump until they get to the top of the tower. He goes, all right, you're at the top of the tower. What are you going to do? I'm going to use the stairs as a slip and slide, tripping every single one along the way. It worked. After the zombies were done playing Twister, they chased after me. And I was long gone.
I would have totally used my shield as a slide.
Okay,
Just
like
Look, if Link can do it, why can't I?
right. And if Legolas can do it, why can't I? Hell, he can surf stairs, crowds.
By the last Hobbit movie, he can run up falling rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, the man can run into movies he's not supposed to be in.
All right, let's get a roll call. See if everybody's here. Roll call.
12.
Present.
4.
3.
Doom.
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 What about Hundo?
So he's who's missing right now.
The D100. Not often needed, but appreciated.
Agreeable statement.
Well, we will
Patty.
give him another
Link
minute.
us. That's pretty funny played.
I'm actually going to look on Amazon to buy a D100.
Oh, it's been
$16,
so long.
kind of worth it.
Is it one of the big ones?
D100?
Yeah.
Ah, he's here. We're all here.
Sorry about that.
Okay,
No.
well, let's pick up where we left off.
All right.
Social awkwardness.
Oh.
Yes, the party is inside the abode of Petros, where his will is to be read. The man, his hair slicked back, pulls out his glasses and begins reading. I, Petros Lorimer, being of sound mind, do hereby commit to this parchment my last will and testament. Let it be known that with the exception of the specific details below, I leave my home and personal belongings entirely to my daughter Kendra. Use them or sell them as you see fit, my child. Yet beyond the bequeathing of my personal effects, this document must serve others' needs. I have arranged for the reading of this document to be delayed until all principals can be in attendance, for I have more than mere inheritance to apportion. I have 2 final favors to ask. To my old friends, I hate to impose upon you all, but there are a few others who are capable of appreciating the true significance of what it is I have to ask. As some of you know, I have devoted many of my studies to all manner of evil that I might know the enemy and inform those better positioned to stand against it. For knowledge of one's enemy is the surest path to victory over its plans. And so, over the course of my lifetime, I have seen fit to acquire a significant collection of valuable but dangerous tomes, any one of which, in the wrong circumstance, could have led to an awkward legal situation. While the majority of these tomes remain safe under lock and key at the Lepidstadt University, I fear that the few I have borrowed remain in the trunk in my Ravengro home. More invaluable for my work in life, in death, I would prefer not to burden my daughter with the darker side of my profession, or worse still, the danger of possessing the tomes herself. As such, I am entrusting my chest of tomes to you posthumously. I ask that you please deliver the collection to my colleagues at the University of Lepidstadt, who will put them to good use for the betterment of the cause. Yet before you leave for Lepidstadt, there is a matter of another favor. Please delay your journey 1 month and spend that period of time here in Ravengro to ensure that my daughter is safe and sound. She has no one to count on now that I am gone, and if you will aid her in setting things in order for whatever she desires over the course of this month, you will have my eternal gratitude. From my savings, I have also willed to each of you a sum of 100 platinum coins. For safekeeping, I have left these funds with the Emberth Aramint, one of my most trusted friends in Lepidstadt. She has been instructed to issue this payment upon the safe delivery of the borrowed tomes no sooner than 1 month after the date of reading this will. I, Petros Lormar, hereby sign the Ravengro on the first day of Calistro.
Okay, so as soon as I hear he wants us to remain for 1 month, I will say in Infernal the name of the Infernal Lord who governs excrement. I will say that really softly.
Weeble.
Oh, you know what? Do I hear him? Can I hear that?
Yeah, you guys are all in the same room. Unless you said it really quietly.
I sort of mutter it. He could probably have heard me.
I will definitely make sure I know the reference. And I will snicker quietly to myself as I get the reference.
I'm gonna raise my hand and say, "Can I have the key to the books?"
No.
The key is taken from the to Kendra, who hands it to Raphael.
Well, okay.
I'm a player too, guys.
I was just making a joke.
Books are kind of my specialty.
Yeah, sure. I don't actually know that. Well, actually, I've been thinking about, because I saw what happened with you.
That's why you shouldn't read books.
Yes. I think.
Well, but I've already read books, which means it's too late for me.
Well, he does make a good point. All right, fine. Take the key.
Kendra thanks the councilman who was kind enough to read the will and dismisses him. I think I'm going to need a few weeks before I make a decision as to sell this house or keep it. But you're welcome to stay as long as you like. There is an inn in town, as I'm not certain that I have enough room for everyone. My father and I mostly kept to ourselves.
Rigel, with a very go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I look over at Cyphus. I look at him. You read that book, and I gesture at the book that he's holding.
I'm going to immediately throw my cloak over the book so he can't see it. So, yeah.
That's not a book. That's a demon with a dust cover.
Well, I wouldn't say that. But I don't recommend reading it. It's not very good. Then I'm gonna turn to Kendra and I'm gonna say, mayhaps you should host Jack so that he doesn't get into, or so that he could protect you from any possible troubles.
See, well done, because if you had worded that differently, Jack was about to get on your case.
Man, I got a +4 in charisma. I know what I'm doing.
My man.
Anyways,
Jack,
Rigel, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
You can finish up your thought.
No, I choose you, Rigel. Spotlight on you.
Yeah, because
Rigel, after no, actually things are reversed, but alright. Rigel then looks up at the whole thing, looks at the procession, goes, "It's okay, Kendra. I'll go. After everything's happened, I don't think I could stay if I want to." But he turns to leave and then stops, turns around and goes, "For what it's worth, for I guess whatever had transpired today, all I could say is I'm sorry." And then he'll collect his things.
You should not
Turn to
leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you at the door and be like, "Why are you leaving?
I
We're
shouldn't
supposed
be
to
here.
be here for a month."
Well, the situation today, in the eyes of the townspeople, has bound us all together. If you leave, you'll be doing us a second misturn.
Ah, yes,
How?
the
I
cheese
can't-
chameleon scales.
It looks like you're running
How?
away. I intend
Not
to go
them.
into town and doing a little bit of damage control myself.
Jack looks
Also,
at it. Damage control? What are you guys
No.
talking about?
You stay here.
slightly frustrated at that point, Rigel's going to make him move to as if he's going to yell at Jack, but then out of nowhere he stops him. Jack just shakes his head.
Like it or not,
I
the
appreciate-
townspeople see us all as a clique, a faction. We must stand together or not stand
What is
at
a
all.
gang?
We can very much stand together while I'm just within the town as far as that just not stay in the house. I don't
Well,
think I deserve to be here after what happened today.
Again, I would think it much safer if you stayed here near the house. At least it's separated and defensible, and I wouldn't trust the inn right now.
yeah, you guys sleep inside. I'll sleep on the roof. Me and Sika got this. No one will get inside.
Sika looks up to you from the couch that Sika seemed quite comfortable at.
Okay, fine. I'll sleep on the roof. Sika can keep the couch.
Remember
I
that.
actually-
Spreads out.
I actually think it went rather well today, considering most of my village interactions.
At that point, Rigel then turns to Rigel then looks over and goes, "If it's alright later on, Cyphus, I'd like to speak to you about some things. But
Sure.
if you all really want me to stay, so be it."
Yes,
He looks slightly
Look, you
crushed.
didn't kill anyone.
please.
Kendra comes out of the kitchen with a small plate of cookies. Here, I baked these myself.
Does Rigel recognize the cookies?
They are cookies.
Yeah, they're people.
What time?
One of them's your
what time
mother.
of the day is it?
It's getting to be later in the day.
It is.
So how many rooms are in the house, and how many of us need to get rooms? at
There's
the end?
2 if you boys want to get real cuddly.
Y'all
There's
can get
2
real good.
rooms. Jack is going onto the roof. By the way, Jack, you're going to the roof. Yes, remember, a good sentry is never seen.
It is
I know.
raining.
I'm heard. And then he pulls out this ridiculous looking horn bow and he starts to string it.
No.
As you walk around, your boots go clank.
Right.
Clank.
I'm not taking his bow. I'm putting my hand on his hand that's trying to string it and gently pushes it down. No. It is fine. You don't need to shoot anyone. Just simply let us know if someone is approaching. That is all. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't worry about it, okay?
You might try scaring them instead
Okay.
of killing
It
them.
is pouring rain out.
That works.
Is Jack comfortable sleeping in the rain?
Oh yeah, no. More often than not, he would be outdoors than in. He would prefer, if anything, he'd prefer to be outdoors if he can. Outdoors
Alright.
or underground. Those are his preferred places. Wooden or stone structures don't settle well with him.
So,
Well,
do you all wish
I'll-
to see to the chest and his books?
Yeah, well, I do. Absolutely.
Alright, she leads you
Rigel will
up.
make his... Go ahead.
Go on.
I will turn to Gregory and I'll say, wherever you choose to bunk up, I'll go. I'll stay with you.
We will shelter in town for now.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, I want to check out these books.
Okay, I'm definitely going to go with him so that we can make sure that nothing bad happens.
I'm coming
Alright
to
then.
it.
I'm already naked.
Kendra Are you boys going to try those cookies?
Oh, yes, I'm definitely having a cookie.
Oh,
Wait,
definitely
Alright.
taking the cookie.
Yep,
Jack
cookie.
will not be eating a cookie though.
Before anybody takes anything, I'm gonna say a little prayer to Sarenrae over the food, but in that I'm also casting Purify Food and Drink, but I make it look like a thing for Sarenrae as to not be rude, but I just
So-
can't really trust people outside of my village, or outside of my tribe.
So, taking some bites. It has an interesting texture. It's very hard on the outside, and then really, really, really flaky and flour. She's not the best cook. And she appears to have mistaken the sugar and the salt.
Oh, it's great.
I'm going to do one of those. Wow, this is so good. I'm going to save this for later.
Jack's looking at all of your faces like, whoa.
Is the goat is the goat with us?
Yeah. Goes with me everywhere.
I'm gonna
I'm
all the
sitting on his
DL
back,
just
like-
like drop the cookie in front of the goat.
I'm looking at Ba, and Ba's looking at the cookie, looks back at me.
Slowly moves its mouth over. It just tries to break. Just
Right? He gets that little bit. Worst part is, like, half of him would like it, and the other half would hate it, because, you know, it's like, ooh, salt block. Oh, what is this?
So, you make your way up into the professor's room. In his closet, he has a small oak chest. Heavy iron, very secure. The key fits locked perfectly, and opening it, you find 4 books. One of them bears the phrase, "Read me now," scratched into the leather. This is Petros Loremore's journal, or one of them.
I'd like to open it and read it.
Alright then.
If it's just his writings, like addressed to us, then I'll read it out loud.
Alright then. The first is from 10 years ago. The Whispering Way is more than just a cabal of necromancers. I see that now. Death is their fountain youth. Uncovering their motivation does not place me at ease as I thought it might. The desire to be eternal simply makes them dangerous. Another is from about 8 years ago. In it, you can see there is a drawing of Scythe and Rigel with Kendra, much, much younger and happier. The Scythe, as you can see yourself laughing at some joke. The professor sketched all of this. He has fantastic talent, but he spent his time elsewhere. He talks about how he had such worry after the death of his wife that his daughter would be forever alone, that it would just be the two of them. But seeing you two gave him hope for the future, and that she would not be alone.
At that point, sorry, is Rigel in the room with this time?
You're all in the same room.
I don't think anyone trusts me with these books alone.
Yeah.
Assume everyone's tied at the hip.
So at that point, Rigel's looking at this, and if he's feeling exceptionally bad after the day's events, but after seeing this is also the professor's thoughts, he doesn't say anything, but you see real tears forming, and they just keep falling out of his face.
Oh, bud. I'll give you a pat on the back.
As you make your way through various he's drawn you once, Grigori, as you had traveled together, sitting by the fire. He's sketched this magnificent picture of you, Raphael, standing upon a dune, the sun shining behind you. He captured your good side, but that's implying that you have a bad side.
Hey, I actually remembered you.
He,
It was on the very last day of the excavation.
Jack, you recognize this picture because the professor didn't draw it, you did, and it's mostly in blood. It's the two of you holding hands, and written beneath it, besties.
Oh,
Jack looks very
Rigel's-
happy.
that is
Rigel's jealousy hits the floor.
Deacon, there's this magnificent drawing of you surrounded by many symbols just floating around you, as he talks about how interesting and what a fine scholar you're going to be, and that he has hopes that you'll most likely go 1,000 miles further than he has in endeavors.
I will lower the face guard of my helmet to hide my slight misty-eyedness at that.
The next entry is 2 months ago. It is as I feared. The way is interesting here in Raven. But what could it be? The next, after flipping through 1 month ago, whatever the way seeks, I am now convinced their goal is connected to Harrowstone. In retrospect, I suppose it all makes sense. The stories they tell about the ruins in town are certainly chilling. Enough it may be time to investigate the ruins, but with everyone in town already being so worked up about them, I'd rather not let the others know about my curiosity. There's plenty of folks here, whereabouts who already think I'm a demonologist or a witch or something. Ignorant fools. The next is 20 days ago. It is confirmed the way seems quite interested in something. No, strike that. Someone who was held in Harrowstone, but who specifically is the way after. I need a list of everyone who died the night of the fire. Everyone. The Temple of Pharasma must have such a list. The next is 18 days ago. I see now just how ill-prepared I was when I set out for the Harrowstone. I am lucky enough to have returned at all the ghosts, if indeed they were ghosts, for I did not find it prudent to investigate further, prevented me from transcribing the strange symbols I found etched along the foundation. Hopefully on my next visit I will be more prepared. Thankfully, the necessary tools to defend against spirits are already here in Ravengro. I know that the Church of Pharasma used to store them in a false crypt in the Wrestlands at the intersection between the Eversleep and Black Path. I am now certain if the current clergy even know of what their predecessors had hidden down below. If my luck holds, I should be able to slip in and out with a few borrowed items. And the final one, at the day of the professor's death, 17 days ago. Tomorrow evening I return to the prison. It is imperative the way does not finish. My caution has already cost me too much time. I am not sure what will happen if I am too late, but if my theory is right, the entire town could be at risk. I don't have time to update my will, so I'll leave this in the chest where it is sure to be found, should the worst come to pass. On this final page, who's reading?
I am.
You see a note with Raphael's on it.
Can I read it?
You certainly can. Raphael, can you give me a perception check?
I shall do this thing for you indeed. Perception. Iowa.
Yeah, you see there's a note that has your name on it. That's
I will take time to read it.
One time.
You want a robot for us?
Yeah, please.
Raphael said everything.
We can't really hear you.
I'm pretty bad. The connection quality is really bad.
Did that fix it?
Does it? I can't tell.
Yeah, it did.
Fixed it.
Sorry about that. Every blue moon, it switches routers on me, and I don't know why.
Well, that was
Sorry about that, folks.
Quality was down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's strange.
Cosmic storms, folks. They're catching on.
All
Solar
right. Well,
flare.
at least we got you back.
Indeed, it's good to be back. But yes, Raphael, you see that he's about to read a note that has your name on it.
Yes. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you now.
Okay, because it just popped up. Discord is not. Anyway, I rolled a perception that was 22. I won.
Yes, you can very clearly see that he's about to read a note with your name
I'm
on
going
it.
to take it and I'm going to read it. May I? May I please?
Well, I wasn't gonna read it out loud, but okay.
I would very much like to read the letter that is addressed to me.
Well, yeah, I was gonna let you read it. I'm sorry. I'm curious.
Thank you. I take the thing.
Flipping through it. My dear boy, if you're reading this, one of two things have happened. One, you've snooped around into my journal, and you should put this back. Or I'm dead. Which is a bit of a shame.
I really wish it was the first.
But
you know, better dead than undead.
But I have something to say to you. I have watched in my life many men fight against the darkness, with blades and spells ready to destroy it. But you have a very kind heart to you. You are not one to wield a sword, but a shield. You protect others while others seek to battle. And if I am to be gone, then there is something that I need you to do for me. I need you to be her shield, to protect her. If that can be done, then I can go off into the darkest pits, knowing that a bright light will always be watching over my daughter. Take care of yourself, Raphael. You're a good man.
Well, I'm going to. Is there space at the bottom?
There is.
So I'm going to prick my finger, and I'm going to leave a bloody thumbprint at the bottom of the page, signifying blood oath.
Your blood sinks in deep, and it remains.
So yes, I accept the protection of his daughter, or to protect his daughter. Anyway,
Indeed, you do not want the alternative. Whew.
Yes, I'm going to keep the letter.
All right, then. So, there are 3 other books inside.
Yeah, give me the good stuff.
Don't get too happy now. The first of them is a rich purple book with brass scarab set with a single eye in the center. The other one is a jet black book written on it on verified madness. It appears to be a treaty on aberrations and other entities found on Galarian that possess remote ties to the dark tapestry, the name given to the dark places between the stars and the night sky. Another is called Serving Your Hunger. This is a copy of one of the several unholy books sacred to the goddess Urgathoa. Lorimore's notations liberally sprinkle the margins. The final one is The Umbral Leaves. This is a lexicon translated into common that is an unholy book of Zon Kuthan. Blowing some dust off the purple book, you read that it is a manual of the Order of the Palatine Eye.
Ah. Can I do any kind of check on that?
Certainly.
Right.
It is currently locked, though.
Oh.
It's a small but intricate lock with a triangular shaft for the key, or what the key would have to have.
So I have no idea what this key could be?
Nope. You'd have to pick the lock to get it open.
Well, none of us are good at that.
So I will reach out my hand for the book. I can read books even if they're closed.
Okay,
How? Oh.
That's a dangerous art to try. I think it's best that we let me handle it.
If you insist.
Why?
Why? Oh, because I've been trained to read such dark texts.
But you can't read that one. And he can.
Well, that's a fair point, I suppose. Either way, I think we should go after these other books in a moment. First, we should decide what we want to do about this Harrow Stone and these anti-ghost materials. It seems to me that
Those
if...
seem like the most important thing to
We have someone in chat mentioning clicking sound. Is someone like clicking their mouse a little too close to the mic?
No, it's coming from Doom.
Okay.
Whoops. No idea what that could be.
Way to throw him under the bus there, Angel. Damn.
Well, it is what it is. Now, if the people would like to
One of
pay
the
us-
books falls out of the closet and bonks you on the noodle.
Oh no! Another 8 damage, I'm dead!
But it's a book, so you're good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have immunity to book damage.
Yeah.
Damage. My only.
Wait, no, you don't. You're Cyphus. You have the
Oh,
exact
no.
opposite.
I have
You
a weakness to
vulnerability
books.
to it.
Favorite
So-
enemy book?
Yeah.
I wish.
There's enough books in this bestiary to throw something at you. But yes, as you were saying.
So yeah, we're gonna have to deal. It seems to me if we're going to protect Kendra and stop the Whispering Way. Well, I have a fairly good idea of what the Whispering Way is, but why don't I do a check? A history check, you think?
Sure. That or religion.
Well, they're both plus 10. Because I'm a monster.
That you are.
Who rolled a 3?
Fuck!
Well, you still rolled well with your massive bonus. You know that there's a good deal of information out there that you haven't spent much in the way of necromancy. You know that they are prone to going into the darkest abyss of places and doing as they please. That a large assortment of them are necromancers, and that many in Ustalov give them a wide berth out of fear.
Would you allow a knowledge arcane check to see what might be known about the Whispering Way?
Certainly.
Could I do a religion check, or should I stop at just my one fail? Well,
For now,
I don't know
let's
damn
limit it
thing.
to one at a time.
Okay.
Also, we did not get to this, folks, but in regards to natural 1s and natural 20s, we are treating them as critical successes and failures for skill checks as well. It's fun, and folks have fun doing it. If you don't like it, write a letter. So, you're thinking about the Whispering Way and your knowledge of arcane, and you've kind of written them off as just necromancers and haven't spent much more time with them. They don't really fit your focus and the various focuses you're after.
So, yeah, I looked at the profile. It said necromancer. I was like, nah, not my deal. I kept going.
Scene.
now I'm assuming that it's common knowledge that Ustalov was kind of like under this rule of something called the Whispering Tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also assuming that the Whispering Way must be connected to someone called the Whispering Tyrant in some way. Or
You
shape.
do know that there is a connection to that, and that is because the names. If they're not, it's a really big coincidence.
Okay. Alright, so, they're some kind of large, dark organization that's probably up to no good, mainly populated by necromancers. We should probably do something about that, Gregory. Or Gregory, excuse me.
Gregory's his brother.
Yeah, sorry.
We shall deal with it in time.
Well, I mean, if they have a focus, it sounds like it's urgent. These books, I mean, these are just holy books for unholy gods. I mean, useful, sure, but I don't see any urgent matter if we lock them up. But whatever's going on with this Harrowstone, I think we should look into that. Or at least ask Kendra what the Harrowstone is.
Kendra is down the hallway, kind of looking in. She seemed very eked out by these books.
Yes, true. We shall investigate.
Could I do a knowledge religion to see what I just have heard in regard to that about the Harrowstone, like if it's been mentioned at all?
Give me a knowledge history. Religion isn't really its cup of tea. It's not a religious location.
Yeah, I don't have any points in history, so can't do it.
All
Well,
right, then.
don't worry. Your skill monkey's here with a 26!
All right.
Oh, okay.
Huzzah.
You know a good deal about Harrowstone. About 50 years ago, there was a massive fire. 5 individuals were being brought. The names unknown to you, you just knew that they were very terrible beings. They tried to make a desperate escape, a fire broke out, and most of the guards made their way out. That is about the crux of your knowledge. You know that it is a very dark and many believed cursed location. That sits atop the hill of Ravengro.
And it was a prison?
It was a very large prison. The worst of the worst was brought there to be executed.
Do the rest of us
And you know
see
for a
that,
fact
or-
that they were executed via scythe rather than axe. Why is unknown to you.
All right, guys,
Okay.
let's pick
So
up
we're not
some
a
cigarettes
madman.
and toilet wine to appease the ghosts of the prisoners.
I don't want toilet wine.
It's for the ghosts.
Well, then that's too damn bad.
Actually, do we all hear this, or just him?
You're all there.
Okay,
It takes a few moments for Jack to hear it due to the height disparity, but he eventually hears.
he hears Rigel hears about Harrowstone, and then there's almost a reaction. He looks to what he believes the direction, like he almost looks outside the window and see if he can see Harrowstone from.
Oh yeah, you can
Where's-
kind of see these ruins. A crack of lightning goes off as you look to it. It's kind of unnerving.
Is there a big dun 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 when he looks out the window?
In
Yes,
his
but
mind.
it's
Horses.
most likely from Jack. Just
Well, I
Rigel-
suggest we try to see if he had any of his purloined anti-ghost materials in the house.
That would be prudent.
I suppose.
the journal did say that he kept them in a crypt in the Wrestlands.
Well, he said that the old Phrasmans kept it there.
Yes, and that he
Uh,
planned to go there to get some.
Okay, so we don't think he gathered any and kept them in the
Well,
house.
we could search the house just in case he had something.
I think we should.
Yes.
Kendra offers, I can look around if you want, but you didn't keep many secrets from me. And you begin making your way up. Roll me a search check. That would be perception.
I'm
Yes.
gonna ask Kendra if he left any keys lying around.
Not really. He was more keen on losing keys than holding on to keys.
Well, if you find any, please let me know.
All right then. Raijo, you know your way around this house quite well. You spent a good deal of time here, and you remember that the professor had one secret spot. In the kitchen, there was a cookie jar. In the bottom of the cookie jar was a false bottom that he would keep things like extra cookies for himself. That he would sometimes sneak to you as well.
Sly dog.
Double
Indeed.
cookies.
Son of a bitch.
Huh. I always knew the professor didn't care much for raisins, and that's why they're here. He says, popping up the little thing, and was he find the false bomb in the cookie jar?
At the bottom of the cookie jar, pushing past the salt-flavored rocks, you open up the false bottom. Inside, you find a small map of the Wrestlands, marking the location of the false crypt, and a list of certain items that were hidden in there.
Alright. But Rigel gets the map, puts it in his pocket, he's going to show everyone, but then he looks at the cookie jar, and a slight smile. Saw a slight smile in his face, and just like, oh, you always knew to keep the sweet stuff, Professor. You always knew. And then he walks up and then goes,
Zing.
everyone, I remember some place where the professor liked to keep his reserve of treats. I found this, and he basically goes on the table of the professor's I guess his office or something like that, or
His study.
study. Yeah, and he lays the map down. I think we have a first move if we're gonna do this. And he points to that, like here.
I'm
Here,
gonna say.
let me show you, folks, on the map.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
It would
I'm
be
gonna say-
right here. This is where the false crypt is.
All right. I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Well, it's getting dark and it's raining heavily. If we're going to sneak into the graveyard, I believe now's the time to do it, and then we
Are
can
you
rest
sure?
and then go to the Harrowstone tomorrow.
Are you sure? I mean, I guess with everything's going on, the townsfolk are going to be rather angry. I'm surprised if there's a bunch of rather irate people still stomping around the streets back there. If we try to do anything now, we're only going to confirm their suspicions.
It's
I don't
pouring rain out.
believe- Yeah,
Oi.
and also I don't believe Ustalavians like to stick around graveyards after dark. They're simply too smart for this.
No,
Granted.
It might also be prudent to have Jack find us a circuitous route. You can do that, can't you, Jack?
If I want to. Do I want to?
I
What
think
if-
you would like
Who
to
are
very
you guys?
much. Your friends.
I only know one of you.
Me.
But we're doing this for the professor. Remember, your bestie.
Yeah, he's the bestie for Resty, but he's resting now.
Yes, but we're doing this for him. So
Make sense of this.
Jack.
help us out, and I give you a cookie.
I don't want a cookie.
Yeah,
They're made
Jack,
out of salt, sugars, and sweets
What do you
Jack,
want then?
when
to
you love
eviscerate
someone,
my enemies.
when you
Yes,
love
so
someone very
I'm
much,
sure we're going to find enemies for you to eviscerate.
Okay.
More than likely. Also,
Alright,
you
cool.
you need to
Let's do
walk
it.
your war cat regularly.
Well, yeah, but
What? He says.
no,
I don't think the professor would like you rampaging through the town.
I didn't say anything about rampaging.
Either
I will
way,
pay a
the
townsboy like a
professor-
couple of copper to take my cat out to the woods, and
and then be eaten by it.
if he returns,
the professor-
Kendra returns to all of you. So I just spoke to the sheriff. He would like for all of you to spend the night here, as he's a bit concerned about what happened in the Restlands today. He just wants to make sure that you are all willing to listen to the law with this simple request.
Is he standing outside, making sure we don't leave?
Beneath an umbrella, you do see an older gentleman just looking at all of you. So that's either the sheriff or you have an admirer.
Hmm.
that one's mine. I call it.
No. Is there another way out? Can we be sneaky about this?
Not
Yeah.
really.
Of course we can.
I will roll sense motive on him.
All right, give me
No
that roll.
need. I'll go talk to him.
No.
I can't wait till you get that hold person spell, right, boys?
I wish I had it now.
Either that or a bag of holding with air in it.
Both sound adequately inappropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9 for sense mode. He doesn't seem like the angriest sort, but he's just keeping a watchful eye on you, boy.
I think it would be in everybody's best interest to maybe do this another time and lay low while the heat is. Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
I would agree with this.
Iowa.
Okay, are we, I guess we're all staying here tonight.
We're all staying here tonight.
I don't need a bed. I can use the floor.
Nonsense. Habib, you must sleep in a bed. Look at you. You are ragged. The bags under your eyes, I could carry shoes in them.
I don't sleep that much, to be honest.
Hey, who got a nat 20?
That would be the cat
Oh, shit.
sneaking out.
So, where are you
With
boys
a
going?
Not so sneaky Jack.
Right?
I'm going into the living room and setting up my bed.
Oh,
As you
okay.
see Jack climbing out the window.
Oh,
The
great.
The cat is
No.
completely gone. Like,
Right.
We don't know what happened to the cat. Like, one moment it was on the couch, and then the next he was gone. Jack, we totally see him, like, scurrying out the window. We're like, oh shit, there he goes. Who's going to catch him, Habib? I am not going to catch him. It is raining outside.
Well, I suppose I could try to talk to him at the very least.
Well,
Ooh.
I think I'm just gonna stay inside.
I think I'm going to go have a word with the sheriff.
Remind him that I didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, I will remind him that he didn't kill. Okay, anyway. I'm going to go have a word with the sheriff.
I'll join Raphael.
So you make your way out.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Bit of an older gentleman, selling pepper stash.
acrobatics. Jack. I'm approaching in as much of a non-threatening way as possible. I'm coming up. Hello, كيف حالك?
Evening.
I would like to do a sense motive on this gentleman.
All right.
While I also roll a diplomacy.
Nice.
Alright. So.
Nope.
He's a hard man to read. Kind of a stern expression.
A soldier, if I ever saw. Listen, I just wanted to apologize for the events of the day. The situation got very out of hand, and in all of our defenses, that tiger kind of came out of nowhere.
Listen here, son. You seem like a nice fellow. And if you're friends with the professor, I'm certain you really are. So, I'm going to let you boys off with a warning. These folks are...
people.
Alright. If you cause any more trouble in my town, then I'll make sure you don't cause any more trouble, understand? He puts a hand on your shoulder and gives you a very kind smile. Whether that means the jail, or... And he just kind of turns his head towards the wrestlings. Whatever it takes, really, to keep the peace.
Trust me.
Again, you seem like a nice fellow.
Trust me, causing trouble was the last thing that we wanted to have happen. I am a doctor, actually. So I will do the exact opposite of cause trouble and heal people. So you have nothing to worry about from us. And if
More
there's
the
any
little
mistake-
feller that we're worried about.
Yes, I know. We'll try to tie him up later.
Well, I got some manacles if you want.
I'll keep those for later, yes. I'm gonna take those manacles. Can I have those
Add to
manacles?
your inventory one pair of small manacles.
Haha.
Jack notes
specifically
the
small.
exchange. Jack notes that exchange.
No, you
Jack's-
don't. You're nowhere around.
I'm outside watching you two. I was
You
going to go
took off.
kill him. But you guys went out to talk to him, so I'm waiting.
You fuck.
Rigel has his eyes locked on Jack and the cat, ready to sort of intercept him between them and the sheriff. He's not going to let this slip by.
That'll be a
Honestly-
little hard.
Honestly, if you really want me to be honest right now, if you kill the sheriff, I might take you out, homie.
That is a possibility.
I'm gonna
He
lean
might
out.
lose a boot between some red cap cheeks.
I'm gonna lean out from the door. I'm gonna say, Jack, is it okay if I take the couch, or is the cat not gonna be okay with that?
You hear from a bush just outside of the doorway. It's fine. Cat's out here with me.
You
Everyone
Boots
tips the
pushes
bush.
out. Boots pushes past you, Cyphus, and makes his way out into the rain, seemingly
Oh.
undeterred by the water.
Oh,
He
stupid!
kind of just looks up and meow,
You're
keeps
stupid.
going.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kid.
I hope I don't get eaten.
Hello, Boots. Meow.
Meow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you boys behave, all right? If I made myself clear,
Tristan.
Yes, sir.
all right then.
Yes, sir.
Y'all stay put for the night, all right? I'll do my best to calm the folks down, all right? You
Let
keep
them
an eye
know
on
I'm a
that.
doctor.
I'll let him know. And he makes his way out and then stops and turns and just keeps watching the place.
Almost got me.
Waiting for everyone to go inside.
They had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
And the Jack's looking at him, looking at you guys.
And then he looks over at a bush on the opposite side of the road. He pats his leg, and Sika would come patting across the road over to him as he heads into a tree just outside of the manor or house.
All right then. So who's bunking with who?
I guess I'll sleep on the couch.
All right then.
I'm sure Kendra needs a cuddle buddy, right? I'm kidding.
That's what the cat's for.
I'm kidding.
Well, Boots left.
Oh,
Shit.
actually, was Kendra in the room when I read the letter?
She was not.
Okie doke. So I'm going to go and show her the letter that her father left to me, and be like, hey, just so you know, this is a thing.
She reads through it and she kind of just leans into your arms and just needs help being held for a moment.
Aww.
I will also go and speak to Kendra if I could just come on the scene. I will
You
knock
also lean
sharply
into
on
I
whatever.
will also lean into
nearest-
Raphael's arms.
I will knock sharply on something.
All right. Yes, she's at the top of the stairs with Raphael. Just knock on the door next to them.
She is.
Excuse me, Kendra.
Oh, yes, Deacon?
I don't know if your father ever mentioned me to you, but I am an authenticator by profession. If you need help appraising any of the items in the house for sale, I would be happy to assist you.
Oh, I was going to offer the same on whatever it is you boys have decided to do. I have quite a bit of skill in detecting magic on items, and I could help it with that.
Oh, excellent. Then it sounds like we will be well informed of any curios we come upon.
I'll be more than happy to help.
And
If you can talk to the Church of Pharasma, they might be willing to help you with healing if you happen to need.
Yes,
I'm
I
just
will
gonna
keep
look
that in
up.
mind. I nod at Raphael. Carry on.
And you sit down to watch.
The moment has been thoroughly slain by Deacon. I reward XP for it, but I couldn't stab it out quick enough.
Rigel's gonna look and he's gonna look. He's looking around and he's gonna look for something, and he's about to call out for Kendra, but then he sees Kendra with. Wait. Did he read the did Raphael read the letter out loud, or
No.
was it just? Oh,
Kendra
he's gonna
read it.
see.
Oh,
Kendra.
I would have if everybody was in the room, like I would have read the letter and gone like, oh wow, hey guys, like he wants me to do the thing. Like I wouldn't have kept
Yes,
that.
That
wanted
was
me to
not
bone
the
his
bus
daughter.
pass to Bone Town.
No, it was not.
Oh, okay.
Rigel will then just look at Kendra and Raphael. He'll stare at everything, nod, and still walk away with his head sort of lower, just like, oh yeah, that's right,
But
that's right. Don't worry, I'm used to it.
I'm gonna go hug Rigel too.
So, Rigel, deep within your sadness, going about, suddenly bear hug.
Behind.
Suddenly, the protecting arms of Raphael wrap tenderly around you.
It's really, really
rubbing you.
weird. He feels a lot warmer than he should, but it's less like someone's body heat, and more like the noonday sun warming you after a cool breeze.
And you've never felt safer.
Rigel's just looking from Raphael to the rain and looking. How are you this warm?
It's like
Oh yeah,
spooning
I
a
was
big
out in the
marshmallow.
rain too, so like all my clothes are already dry.
Wait. So Rigel was hugging me, and Raphael was hugging me, and who else was that? Anyone else, or just him? Just out of nowhere.
Jack, do you want to get in on Hugtown? No? Okay.
No, Jack's out in the rain.
Jack's in the middle of the false tomb, just break it in.
You know what? You know who wants a hug? I think Grigori wants a hug. Where is he? D4. Grigori,
I'm
where
here.
are you?
I'm here.
He's in the kitchen. He's like still eating in the kitchen. Like he's like nobody
Doing
knows.
your best to power through.
He eats
No.
his feelings.
He's
his
thinking,
thing.
can I load my weapon with this cookie? I would do
So
some
we're down
damage.
as rocks out.
No, he's just enjoying the cookie right now.
He gets a
He likes
blunderbuss
salt.
that was made by his mother and like cuts the cookies in half, puts it in the blunderbuss.
A snicker bullet, if you will.
A snicker
Sneaker
doodle. A seeker doodle. It's a seeker missile.
God damn it.
Over
Alright,
time, you all find
I'm-
yourself to your beds. Oh, sorry, go on.
I wanted to. Can you describe that lock on the Palatine's book one more time?
It is a triangular hole. It is rather intricate, and made of gold.
Damn. I really want to open that.
Before I go
Is there
to bed,
anything in the professor's room that is shaped in a triangle way that might be able to be a key that's not normally considered a key?
You don't see anything of the type that would fit.
Okay. Well, I'm just not gonna. I'll just take the other two holy texts and read those instead.
Okay, then.
before I go to bed, I'm going to see if I can get my hands on the professor's notebook.
All right.
And I would like to attempt an object reading on it.
Sure.
Got one of these a day.
What are you trying to ascertain?
Have you read? Do you know what the object reading does?
Bits and pieces.
Okay, so basically what I do is I attempt an appraise check, DC 15. If I succeed, I get one piece of information as determined by the DM about the object's history or owner or anything like that.
All right, then.
So it's kind of up to you what you give me.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
All right.
I don't know where Rachel just looks at him. Raphael goes, "You can stop hugging me now."
All right, then. So, you sense this. This is a man who has spent a good deal of his life pouring into this book. Flipping through it, it stops at the final page, and you can sense extreme anguish that the professor, who was said to have been killed by a falling gargoyle, did not. That something much, much worse has happened.
Dun dun dun.
Lightning strike.
I'll say murder. Most foul.
Most foul.
What? Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
it
I don't
echoes
know.
in this room.
Sorry. I didn't know
I just look over my
Rachel was-
shoulder. Oh, Rigel. I didn't know you were standing behind me while I was staring off into space holding this book. Yes, I believe the professor may have met a less than natural end.
How do you figure his demeanor suddenly goes from slightly crestfallen and just like crestfallen to really serious? Like, what do you mean by that? How do you know this?
Well, as I've said, I have
So
a way of
surprised.
reading books without opening them. And reading other things as well.
I see. Did you were you able to glean anything like I don't know memories or anything like how he died or?
Only I believe only I believe his state of mind at the moment of his death. He died in anguish. A terrible fate for such a good man.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. Actually, in the study, are all the books laid out in front or anything like that?
They
Oh,
are
no,
put in
I
the
have-
oak chest.
I
Oh,
have.
Cypher says
I am basically sleeping with them.
Oh,
I believe
wait.
our
You,
bibliophile has them.
He's sleeping on top of them.
I kind of want to look at one of them, but so
I'm not
you sure?
asleep yet.
Well, you just basically use three of them to form the base for the mattress. So what we're using for a mattress.
I did have a sudden thought. Is there any way I can use one of my knowledges and knowing and trying to figure out what I do about the Palatine Order to figure out what kind of key or what the key would probably look like, or a way to jimmy it open using my brain rather than my dexterity?
Certainly. Give me a roll.
Okay, what skill would you like me to
Let's
use?
give it a knowledge religion.
I can do that for you.
You better, 'cause you got it.
I'm like really good. Is this pertaining to the Dark Tapestry?
This is not the book pertaining to the Dark Tapestry. You don't know. It just says Manual of the Palatine Eye.
Okay, because if it has anything to do with Elder Mythos, I get an extra +2.
Fantastic.
I get a 17.
All right then. This is a rather cryptic-looking book. The lock almost seems to turn and twist as you're investigating it. This would be very difficult to pick. You'd imagine that if anything were to open it, it might be like a holy symbol or something else equally hidden.
Can I also roll a knowledge religion?
Certainly.
Can I open the Dark Tapestry book? Maybe there's a
most
secret
certainly
compartment.
Oh,
Yeah, you're not too certain about it. It's not your god, so
this is not in my wheelhouse.
It is mine.
Let's see.
So I want to search the Dark Tapestry book just to see if there's any secret compartments.
Let's see.
all right.
Go ahead.
Flipping through the books, you see a plethora of terrifying images. Creatures with snarling fangs. Mouths are not meant to be. More eyes than 100 spiders. It is disturbing things. But
Yeah, it's
you
all-
have seen much worse.
Yeah, it's all kind
Whenever you close your eyes, you see it again and again.
it's kind of a Saturday night for me.
Just the usual stuff when I close my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Okay, there's a Dark Tapestry book. There's the Professor's Journal. What else is?
There is a book about an unholy book of the sacred goddess Urgathoa.
Just the god of the undead.
Lowermore has tons of notations throughout. A lot of them are like generally eked out or bothered by this. The other one is the Umbral Leaves, which is a lexicon translated to common as an unholy book of Zon Kuthan.
May I read the Dark Leaf?
The Umbral Leaves, yes.
Umber Leaves.
I
you
would
roll
recommend
knowledge?
reading it. It
Well-
could be dangerous.
Well, actually, that's
Could I do a
actually why I am.
religion. Who's Zon Cathan? What's his deal? What's his profile? Origin story?
Sure, give me a roll. Alright, so you know the holy symbol is of a skull with a chain running from one eye hole into the other, no lower jaw, and the deity Zon Cathan possesses one of the most twisted and evil minds in the great beyond. He's a god of pain and murder, torture, and much, much worse throughout time.
Oh, yeah. He travels via the Lament configuration. Heard of that guy.
He's the Prince of Pain, the Dark Prince, the Midnight Lord. Lots of things that make for fantastic metal bands.
And it. Oh, go ahead.
It would
Sorry.
suggest that you let me peruse them first before you dive in, just to
Yes.
make sure that they are safe.
Yes, Rigel. After all, the most dangerous thing you can do with a book is read it.
I think it was.
I
I suppose.
unless you're a Holy Gospel Inquisitor, in which case,
Living Grimoire.
interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, Living Grimoire would be to hit someone with it.
Shikigami style.
Anyways, well, actually, I was going to try let's give away my plans, but I'm going to use detect magic in either of these books. As far as like, do they have a presence about them? Is there like,
Alright.
let's see, which one? I guess the book under Gathoa, I suppose.
Oh, it's a 15-foot cone. You can get
Yeah.
them all.
Okay. Nigel
Looking
says-
through them, they don't seem to have much magic to them.
Oh, I was
There's
going
a
to.
faint lingering from Deacon's object reading on the professor's journal, but that's fading as quickly as he had done.
Oh, so I don't need to use detect magic.
Well, no, you've just learned that there's no magic to detect.
Oh,
You detect all no traps.
oh. Okay. So, I don't know if you use a spell or not, but if I don't use a spell, then
Well, no,
It's a
it's
cantrip,
it's
you
a
can
it's a
blast
cantrip. You used it. It's fine.
You get them
Alright.
over and over again.
They're
All right.
infinite. They're fun.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
suggest
Rigel-
we all go to sleep then.
Right. Rigel look over the books and almost unconsciously use detect magic and is just like, well, all right. I apologize for that, Sci-Fi.
Well,
It
no,
just
you
was some-
used detect magic. It was a good idea. I wish I had thought of it, but there was nothing to detect.
I understand. But it just with some of these texts, particularly those seemingly obsessed with Urgatho, and I'm going to be honest, the fact that he has a manual for a dark cult is, well, say what you look with the villagers, especially how they acted, but if you have this in your possession, it's kind of hard to argue that point. Research here is going to go so far, but in my experience, some of these texts, somewhat are, let's just say they come with some strings attached, or should I say web, but I thought it was worth a shot.
I
And he just
will
puts on the
smile ironically at you, and I say, I'm well aware. That's why I would rather read it before everyone else.
Alright. By the way, whenever you feel better, and maybe sometime tomorrow, I'd still like to have a talk about you, man.
Of course.
It's been a while. Yeah, I don't think I need to say that.
Yeah, the smoke
the pub-
chemicals. It's yeah, I get it.
Alright.
So,
Fairly-
all of
have a
you
good one.
find your way to bed. The rain makes for some peace, despite the tragedies that have happened today. Cyphus, in your sleep, you hear drip, drip, as a raindrop leaking through the roof lands upon your head, awakening you. The others seem to be still asleep as another drip, drip lands upon your head. You know that it has a faint smell of salt, not rainwater.
Uh-oh, that's spooky.
Another drop, and another. As you look up, the whole ceiling seems to be caving in. Drip, 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 drip. You look to the doors and see... Oh, why am I hearing an echo?
That's from D100.
I don't know why that's happening. You hear drip, 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 as more water seems to be pouring from the ceiling, dropping upon your head. No matter where you go, it follows. Drip, drip, drip. The others still sleep. The water seems to be rising up to your knees, to your waist. Drip, drip, drip. The others asleep underwater. As the walls seem to come down, the roof disappears, and you find yourself sinking deep, deep, deep in the water. You look off in the distance of this vast ocean you find yourself. You see spires. Drip, drip. You awake in a cold sweat, coated in salt water.
Oh, so it's one of my good dreams.
And I think that's where we'll end things for tonight.
Alright.
All right. Well, great job by everyone.
Sure, let's go with that.
Well,
Yeah.
Yes, let us go with that.
I guess I apologize in hindsight and foresight about I guess my more than amateur sort of perform right now, and
Yeah,
You did fine.
It totally wasn't D12's fault at all.
D12's a good boy.
I was actually pretty proud of us for not having all of us murder someone.
That would have ended badly for you guys.
I didn't do a thing in that encounter.
Oh, you didn't. You lucky duck. I don't know why I'm still hearing that echo.
I was so ready to shoot someone.
We know.
Ready to bring
Are we still?
the hand of Abadar?
Yeah, we're ready to bring the stream to an end.
Yes, we will bring the stream to an end. Thank you for everyone who watched. We will be back next week for more spooky adventures in Ustalav. Say goodbye,
We'll
everybody.
see what we can do.
Or used to love, however you pronounce it.
Ustalav.
Susta love.
I'm still trying to figure out if it's supposed to be Ravengro or Ravengro.
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 Who knows?
Revan, brah.
Anyway,
That's the south side.
that's the south side. That's really funny. Goodbye, everybody. We'll do our best to work on our audio qualities. Sorry for any inadequacies that come up with us. We're still new to this whole online thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make sure my music's working a lot better, as they've changed it since I've last played.
Yeah, what that clunking thing is.
Yeah.
And remember to check out D6 Damage for all kinds of great Pathfinder-related content. Goodbye.
Like that reposition video.